boost for this team. Certainly, when you have your offensive coordinator back at camp, that is significant. The intensity is already different today. Maybe you're able to slack off on something. Maybe you were able to go through the motions or whatever. Not with Eric Bieniemy around. You better be getting out of the huddle quicker. That was the moment earlier today where he wasn't liking how quickly or how slowly they were getting out of one of the huddles, and he very quickly barked at him. So that's his intensity. Yeah. So good to see him back. And then on the injury front, so Trey Smith, third straight day of no practice for Trey. We heard on the show last Friday that he was not practicing because they sent him to a specialist to get his hip looked at. At that time, Andy Reid said, basically, not a big deal. Now, maybe that was just meaning he didn't need surgery or anything, but it is now 3 straight practices.
Correct. Where
Trey Smith has not been in pads or practicing at all. He's standing off to the side here at practice, so he's with the team. So he's not, it's not like there wasn't a procedure or anything, but enough to where they're holding out another day. It's something to watch. Just, you always get nervous when you back, hip. Those are the ones for a bigger guy that you get a little concerned about.
Well, for Tranquil, we're talking about like a week now. So like over a week of no practice.
Yeah, Tranquil also not practicing.
So like that one's been a while. And then with Trey Smith, we're now talking about like 4 practice days, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday not out there. And so it's not nothing. It's so difficult with the Chiefs and injuries because nothing, like them saying it's not a big deal could mean a month or a couple of days. Like for Xavier Worthy, it was a week. For Cyrus Allen, it was a few days less than that because he returned to practice this weekend. For Delane, who they've been saying, like, no, it's just a shoulder thing. He hasn't been out of the yellow jersey at camp.
And we're not expecting that to happen.
No. And so, like, it's really difficult. The Chiefs do not make it easy to guess which way the injury. So it's easy to just speculate on the negative, right? And be like, well, he's in trouble. The point is he's not practicing. And the longer he goes without it, then the more questions we eventually have to have. But 3rd straight day of no practice, 4th straight day in daytime, because they didn't practice yesterday, of course, in there. So something worth noting, at least, but it's good. I'm glad to see Worthy and Fulton and Gelati, and because those are important players for the Chiefs, too. All those guys back at practice, even if they essentially gave Xavier Worthy a half day the way they did it with, like, Rashee Rice and other guys, that's fine. I'm perfectly content with that.
But it was a padded practice until they went to full team stuff for Worthy. So that is a step forward. Still no Snead. He remains out of practice. Norman Lott remains on the PUP list. That's where things are at on the injury front and the observations so far from Chiefs training camp. As you said, we'll hear from Andy Reid. Also, Emmett Johnson going to join us after practice today. Now, Drew sent us something over the weekend that was interesting about quarterbacks in the NFL. We talked a lot last week, actually, about quarterbacks we think are going to bounce back, some we think are going to regress. We got into the whole weird Bill Barnwell quarterback of the decade thing, which was ridiculous, obviously, where he did not have Patrick Mahomes in his mind as the quarterback of the decade. But there was some numbers that were pointed out, and I believe I'll give credit to the right Twitter account. I don't know if it was from this individual originally, but Normie is the Twitter account. I do not know if this was his work, but he's the one who tweeted it out, so we'll roll with that. He was going through every quarterback that has started 20 or more games since 2024, and there's statistical drops in total touchdowns per game, total yards per game, passer rating from games versus non-playoff teams, and also games versus playoff teams. And a couple of things stood out immediately. Guess who's at the very top of the drop-off? In the Chiefs division, quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert, versus non-playoff teams, 1.91, versus playoff teams, just 1. That's a 47.5% drop.
That's insane.
Since 2024 for quarterbacks that are eligible on that. What does that tell you? If you're like, what does that mean? Playoffers. Basically telling you he beats up on the crappier teams. His touchdown numbers are great, and when he faces playoff competition, he doesn't perform, which adds up because when he's been in the playoffs directly, and this is just talking about playoff teams, not in the playoffs, but when he does play wild card weekend, we've seen he's been terrible in the postseason. So they go out and give him a new offensive coordinator. This is like the last year of any sort of excuse for him at all. Some of you are already done there, but this is it. You got Mike McDaniel now as your OC. But how about that? Justin Herbert, number 1 in drop-off since 2024. Number 2, and this one also not a surprise based on what we were just discussing last week, C.J. Stroud, Cody, 42.6% drop-off since 2024.
Like, when I look at the list, it 1,000% checks. The only guy that maybe surprised you is Aaron Rodgers, but at his age, not so much. Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, and then Patrick Mahomes at number 9. Now, I'll excuse away part of Patrick Mahomes in the sense that they were really good at grinding out wins for a while, and I think Andy Reid kind of takes his foot off the pedal in a number of games in which he thinks he can grind it out. So maybe that's happening with some of these other guys as well, because, still a 20% drop-off. I would also say they've just been worse here as of late. So if you're doing since 2024, then I would expect a bigger drop-off for Mahomes versus some others. But I also have the history with Mahomes in the sense that I have an entire lifetime of watching him come up clutch in the playoffs against huge teams. So I don't have to worry about the fact that he's at number 9. This is embarrassing for Herbert. And it points to exactly what the problem is. Whatever the opposite of big game is, that's what he's been his entire career. Same with C.J. Stroud. When the lights are the brightest and the fans are in the stands and everything's on the line, those guys stink and have stunk in pretty much every single major game they've had an opportunity to play in. It goes back to, and I'll give Drew's guys credit. Joe Burrow was the third best. You know why that doesn't surprise me? When Joe Burrow actually gets to the playoffs, he does play big time. In big time games, he plays big time. Their problem is keeping him healthy and being good enough in the regular. Matter of fact, his drop off is probably less because I can't explain how bad he plays in some of the teams against bad teams. They lose more games against bad teams than anyone in the league. It's crazy.
I mean, we can move on from Herbert in a second, and you were talking about Burrow, but just the Chargers' strength of schedule since 2020 has been the easiest.
Yeah.
Among the easiest in the NFL. Last year they were 5th, 2024 6th. By the way, that's 5th easiest. 25th in 2023, so that was a tough year.
Yep.
2022 2nd, 2021 19th, and 2020 13th. They made the playoffs in the year where they had the 5th easiest, 6th easiest, and 2nd easiest. They missed the playoffs in the year they had the 25th toughest, 19th, 13th. So there is some correlation there. On the flip side, other than Burrow, who had the best, Geno Smith, now he had a resurgence in his career, so it makes sense, but Geno Smith was the best quarterback on this in terms of...
He was also averaging one touchdown a game against non-playoff teams at 1.67.
But he also...
So largest percentage, but...
He also was starting from a lower spot, but he had a 66% increase. Matthew Stafford, guy just won an MVP, makes 37%. Sense. You mentioned Burrow, then Tua was there, Jaden Daniels, Baker, and Lamar were the 6 best quarterbacks since 2024 in terms of not having the drop from total touchdowns a game, total yards a game, and your passer rating.
I would also say, and this is what's important, the schedule stuff and why this is an incomplete statistical analysis, in my opinion, is strength of schedule matters. And so Patrick Mahomes has far fewer games against bad opponents and far more games against good opponents than a lot of people on this list. And again, I think some of this is like, okay, that's a regular season stat or a postseason stat. Like, I know what Patrick Mahomes does against playoff teams. I don't really care. You could have told me he was first on this list or last. I don't think it actually tells me much about him. It does tell me something about some of the other guys.
And that was just from 2024 to 2026. If you expand it and go back to 2021, here's where it ends up. So 2021, the quarterback that has had the biggest change between playoff teams, Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts. Those would be the 6 worst on this. And then on the back end of this, from 2021 on, Mac Jones would actually be one of the better ones, along with Lamar, Matthew Stafford, and Dak. So that's going back to 2021, which is a much bigger sample size.
Yeah, but yes, it is. And again, part of this goes back into, it's not surprising that some of the same guys, like no matter what you do, whether you do yards per game, because they do this in yards per game, passer rating, and touchdowns per game. Herbert's better than all of them. He is worse against quality opponents constantly. He is consistently one of the worst. And I just think that, and this is why I guess in their division, if we take this to a broader point, in their division right now, Gold, this is why in the end, I still think they'll run things for a while. They don't have anybody who's a laughingstock at quarterback. Bo Nix is a capable quarterback. Justin Herbert's a good quarterback. Maybe Fernando Mendoza will be a good quarterback, right? We'll see on that one. And if they all work out to being 10-year, 12-year, 14-plus year starters for their organization, good. Because the truth is, none of them are gamers the way I view other guys who I think, when it really is push come to shove, can be cutthroats. Josh Allen can be a cutthroat. He's come up short against Mahomes, but against plenty of other guys, he can be that way. Joe Burrow, I think, when he gets to a postseason, Matthew Stafford, when they get to postseason, those guys, to me, they do show up, and you see them show up when it is like time, when the lights are the brightest. for guys like Herbert and maybe Bo Nix, we'll see. It may be too early to make a decision. I actually think he's really good in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix might be the only guy.
He's been clutch.
He might be the exception to this. Is like if you told me right now, hey, you can face any of the other three quarterbacks in the AFC West in the fourth quarter, I choose Bo Nix last.
Does it concern you that he has a better passer rating than Patrick Mahomes against playoff teams in that since 2024?
Passer rating is a completion stat, and Bo Nix is good at completing passes.
Is he though?
Passer rating, he was one of the
Patrick
tops in the
Mahomes?
NFL. He's one of the tops in the NFL in completion percentage. You know his system. You know his system overall. It's about completing passes. Short, efficient.
I'd have to look at the
He completed 63% of his passes
That's
last
less
year.
than I thought. He also has only been a 2-year
They're ranked
starter, Drew, so I
24th.
guess some of that is the sample size doesn't bother me.
We don't have it in front of us. Maybe we talk about this later on the show. Maybe Drew can find it for us too. The ADOT, average depth of target kind of stuff too. I have no idea. Maybe they're the same. My assumption is the average depth of target for Bo Nix is far less, but I have no idea. That would just be my assumption without actually looking at any of the numbers.
Yeah, and Drew, I guess I'd worry more about it if it wasn't also.
We've seen Mahomes. We also just know how he performs in the playoffs.
For Mahomes in particular, that's why it doesn't bother me. For other guys, Drew, I think it's more than fair to make the statistical comparison. I'm also taking the two worst statistical years of Patrick Mahomes' career versus any other two out of a larger sample size. And, he's got nothing to prove for me. So, this list, I don't think that it's statistically unimportant. I think it means a lot less to Patrick Mahomes than just about anybody else on it. I think it means far more to guys like Burrow and Stafford or Lamar or what we said, the guys at the bottom of the list, essentially, and Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, and some others.
Coming up in a – Go ahead, Drew. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, ultimately because they've won, obviously, but I know we're not going to look back just like the same for playoff wins. We're not going to look back and say, Pat was throwing for 5,000 yards. It was great since 2021 to 2023. I mean, that was – we're approaching 3-4 years ago for that.
But we're only approaching 2 years ago since he was in a Super Bowl, or a year ago he was in a Super Bowl, and 2 years ago since he
I understand
won
that,
back-to-back.
but I think the conversation around Patrick Mahomes has changed a lot here in the last couple of years. Where is it
that Bo Nix might be better at completing passes? I don't know about that.
Oh no, I'm just saying the passer rating is better for Bo Nix than it is for Patrick Mahomes in the last two seasons. His yards total per game is about the same. His total touchdowns is the exact same against playoff teams. So I'm not saying that he's obviously better, but I am saying, does that show more about how Patrick Mahomes has not necessarily gotten worse, but what would explain why people view him less than?
Yeah, look, the
last
offense has gotten worse, and therefore
because
Mahomes is part of that.
of
Absolutely.
the offense around him because of he just hasn't looked as the offense hasn't looked as prolific as it did 4 years ago.
No question. Yeah, I think Mahomes is definitely part of the equation. I think it goes back to the whole conversation we had this offseason, whether it's Andy Reid, whether it's his wide receiver room, whether it's Mahomes. The offense clearly has not been as good the last 2 years as it was 3 years ago. I don't think anybody that part is arguing. I think the Bo Nix part is the reason why I'm pushing back on it, because I think we all are smart enough in watching football that we know that nobody's trying to truly compare Bo Nix to Patrick Mahomes, I don't think. And yardage-wise, now Mahomes was hurt last year, but, I mean, Mahomes in 14 games threw for almost 3,600 yards. Bo Nix threw for 3,900. So that answers my average depth of target question right there without even having to look it up. Bo Nix only had 300-something more yards passing, and he played in 3 more football games.
Better offense, not a better quarterback. And I guess, some of this is just, when you get a large sample size, I don't know why I'm looking at the micro. And I'm not saying, Drew, the 5,050 touchdown season's coming. I just know that, and this is mostly when you're a fan of a team, the only thing that truly matters, which is I know that just as long as they get the offense back together enough to get to the postseason, they can win a lot.
Coming up, guys, here in just a few minutes, we'll get to Cloudy with a Chance. We'll check in on the weather forecast today. It's been overcast, although the sun's starting to come out. We'll find out what the temperature and everything going to be. Just hot. It's hot, okay? It's going to be hot later on today is my guess. We'll also talk about the Buffalo Bills, who not only debuted the hideous uniforms over the weekend, but they also opened up their brand-new stadium, over $2 billion stadium. And, man, oh, man, I hope it's a lesson for the Chiefs and how they're planning theirs and making sure they don't make some of the clear mistakes the Bills made with their design. Just some stuff that should not happen in a brand new stadium in 2026. So we'll get to that in just a bit, guys. But let's talk about Royals baseball. Number one, let's start with Cags over the weekend. I was out there on Saturday, just happened to be there for Cags, what I would say easily his best game as a
Major League Baseball
player, and he's had some big-time performances, but 2 doubles, 2 home runs. He had the longest home run of the day across all baseball on Saturday. He just continues to give you more promise about what the future holds for him and what that home run number can be, because we all know he got off to a slow start, also didn't play enough early on. That's not his fault, but he didn't play enough early on in the season. And he's now got 20 home runs, I think. Is it right at 20 on the season? And think about if he would have started on opening day and played all the way through. I think legitimately you can see why next year, this is not about what we think the Royals will be in 2027, right? That's a bigger question and everything they got to fix. But for Jack Caglianone next year, saying he's a 40-plus home run guy is absolutely in play. Absolutely. It needs to be, yeah. It needs to be. And he's now just looks more and more confident at the plate. But that was special on Saturday night, man. He was just seeing the ball so well.
And one was an absolute
490, I think.
Shot.
490
yeah.
Maybe? Was it 490 or 480?
Well, 480, something like that.
All right,
it was insane. It was an absolute monster shot. So, no question about. Look, this is what I think has been frustrating about the season. Is Cags is a 3-WAR player. I still think he's not as good of a first baseman as Vinny, but he is and has developed into a much better right fielder when he's playing that. And this is the only question I would ask about it is I pointed this out earlier, and it's still too small of a sample size for me to maybe do it. But the splits for home run power when he plays first,
he's more relaxed. He's more relaxed and comfortable.
I will say the evidence is starting to grow that he might be just a more prolific power hitter when playing first base versus when playing in the outfield. We'll see. I still think I'd like a little more of a sample size in order to do it. Yep. But the idea of going into the season, he better get 30, and I anticipate 40. But I will say I've come up short a couple times. I thought Bobby Wood Jr. would have a 40 home run season by now. He has that kind. He doesn't have Jack Caglianone power, but he has 40 home run power. He's one of the best players in baseball. I would have thought that he would have had a chance to do it. And so to ask that is not crazy. By the way, at first base, he has had 109 plate appearances. In right field, 281. So not triple, but like 2.5 times the total number of plate appearances. He has hit 10 home runs at first base, 9 in right field. So, that doesn't include there's one, and he hit one as a DH. Sorry.
Okay.
I was like, where's the extra home run coming from? One as a DH. But in, 30% of the games, he's hit more home runs. It is like the Royals, and we can ask JJ Piccolo about it next week when he comes on the show. Is it just that he's hot at the right time, or is it he's comfortable when he's playing first base, or is he less tired? I don't know. It's a question that they have to at least look at statistically and ask the question of what's going on. But he put on a show. He's one of the brightest young players in the entire sport, and this is why I would make the argument. I'm going to make the argument for JJ, even though they don't need any defense. It's not about that. We'll hear from John Sherman, by the way, at 12:30. This is why they shouldn't sell. I'm sorry. You have one of the 5 best young players in the entire sport and one of the 3 best players in the entire sport. I'm not really let's just kick around and try not to win time for me. That's win mode.
Well, then you better go out this offseason and spend and turn the team into a contender because what you're saying is they have all this. They had that this year. Look what it's resulted in. So it doesn't matter if your bullpen sucks. It doesn't matter if you can't stay healthy. It doesn't. You know what I mean? Like all these. I don't think anybody's pushing back that Cags is part of your core. That Bobby obviously is part of your core. That even Michael Garcia is part of your core. That Carter Jensen. Nobody's disagreeing with that. I think the issue and disagreement comes in: can you fix the team enough and restore a bullpen in an offseason? I think the bullpen's easier to fix than it is the rotation. Which right now it's going to be Waka, Lugo, and Cameron. Okay, who are the other 2 guys? And can you're counting on Waka and Lugo, who have both been specifically Waka has been really, really good this year. Lugo has been still giving you as many quality starts as anybody in baseball. I think they're both top 5 in quality starts across baseball this year. So you're getting quality starts from them. Can they do that again a year older? And that's the big gamble that they're taking.
And can you not sleepwalk through April, Yeah.
So, JJ Piccolo has talked about it. We, again, as you said, we'll play John Sherman's conversation with Josh Vernier later. Now, their actions are going to speak louder than words. So we'll see in the offseason. But in that interview with Vern, John Sherman acknowledged that, we're going to have to invest in this bullpen and this pitching staff. We all probably would say, well, no kidding. That's the only way that they're going to compete in 2027. Let's see with their actions if that's actually something that they do.
Yeah. And again, that is in my opinion, a separate. Will they be successful in doing it? And will they actually commit the resources required to do it? Or, in this case, Gold, will they let go of somebody from the major league team for a different major league thing that makes your team more complete, or will you let go of one of these young pitchers you really like, or Mitchell, or, will you let go of a name in the minors?
I don't know how they can compete next year and not have somewhat of a quote-unquote big splash trade.
I agree. Whether it include major league players and minor league players, some of your best minor league players. I don't care what it is. I don't know how. I agree with that. I don't think you can just throw money at this problem. I think it is a multi-staged issue. And so we'll see. John Sherman again he sat down with Vern one-on-one. We'll have a chance to play that for you coming up today at 12:30.
This year we've partnered with KCUC, who is donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives. And at KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team, you see the best in KC. Scheduled today at kcuc.com. All right, let's check in with Cloudy.
With your training camp forecast, I'm meteorologist Cloudy with a chance. Great weather today. Partly sunny, highs around 82. And a random thought I just had. Isn't it ironic that a guy named Gold can't even get on the podium when it comes to relationships? Also, did I just use the word ironic properly? What does Professor Tapp over there have to say? Never mind, I don't care. With your training camp forecast, I'm Cloudy with a chance for Cody and Gold on 96.5 The Fan.
All right, so thank you,
so
Cloudy.
Shot at me, the professor. Shot at you and your dating
Let's start
life.
with the weather for real quick.
He's way off base.
It's way off. Yeah, it's the high today is 92. It's going to have a heat index over 100. It's
Cloudy on the sauce?
I don't know. It's 82
really?
right this second out. Yeah, maybe that's what he was looking at, It's 83 actually in St. Joe currently. Already feels like 88. By 1 o'clock, it'll be 88, feeling like 103. As far as I knew that was going to happen at some point. That's fine. We haven't even been talking about relationship stuff.
No, we haven't been nearly.
Recently.
I haven't been asking how the dating scene's been treating
podium.
you.
Get on the podium.
How has it been treating you? Mediocre?
It's fine. It's just fine.
About the same?
Yeah, about the
It's
same.
football season. Gold
Drew knows.
locked into that.
I know. That's why I was asking him how it has been treating you.
Football season.
Because it's over now. Yeah,
It's tough out here, trying to avoid getting kidnapped, all kinds of stuff. You got to be careful. It's not as easy,
I'm not on the streets. I wouldn't know. I can't live. I'm not for that life. Just be single for the rest of my life.
You got to look out for fake accounts. You got to look out for kidnappers. It's tough,
We work in radio, so gold diggers, that could be a problem.
Yeah, they know, man. That midday host in Kansas City just flush with cash. Flush with cash. I'll tell you what, when I win that $900 million Powerball tonight, then suddenly it's amazing how much more attractive I'll be. Nobody won, Drew. We got to buy more tickets. $900 million tonight, $900 million.
We'll give it a shot. Well, at least then you can worry. Then you're going to have to worry about that. That'll be another layer to worry about, Gold. Maybe you won't care about it with your hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, if I won $900 million, I become very, very attractive. Yeah.
Your dating pool opens up a little bit more, even more than normal, I would say. Thanks, Cloudy. It is not going to stay 82 for long. It is hot.
Up next, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. They had their practice at their brand-new stadium over the weekend. Not only did we see those unis, which looked even worse in person from the video, but their brand-new stadium opened up, and there were some clear design flaws that hopefully the Chiefs are paying attention to. We'll get to those next.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
So let's be honest, you've heard Cody and I talk about Centric for years. In fact, maybe you've thought about making that change, starting that new career, or simply finding something with more opportunity.
Unless you're going to be the one person who wins the Powerball tonight, maybe make a plan for your career, and you can have it in as little as 4 months. What we keep telling you is, why wait? By the time the year is over, you could be in that new career in whatever field you find interesting. Maybe it's cybersecurity. Maybe it's IT. They have hands-on training with experienced instructors who will help you know what employers are looking for.
Their next class is another opportunity to change your future, but only if you take that first step. Talk to our friend Russ Mondry at Centric. Just go to Centric.com. That's CENTRIQ.com. Your future won't wait. Neither should you.
At the 40, the 30, 20, 10, he's going to take it to the house. Whether you're buying a home, a car, or making another major life purchase, Main Street Credit Union helps you reach your financial goals with cash back, high yield, and student spend accounts, and certified financial counseling. Real people, real progress. Join us at mainstreetcu.org.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
I hope you're sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you are a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive. Call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone at 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer in his lifetime. That could be your father, your brother, your best friend, or you. Prostate cancer often has no early warning signs, but when caught early, it's highly treatable. At Kansas City Urology Care, our board-certified urologists specialize in prostate health, offering advanced diagnostics, personalized treatment plans, and expert care every step of the way. Don't ignore it. Don't delay it. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with 0 rake. Circa Million. 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor. You pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at adventhealthchampionship.com.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
a lot.
And that's important, trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Brought to you by Duke's Real Mayo.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about award-winning chefs. Yes, chef. And why they choose Duke's Mayo. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, back here in St. Joe, Cody and Gold broadcasting live at Chiefs Camp, presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. We'll get to a key injury in the NFL that has prompted a little bit of a conversation, at least on social media and among Chiefs fans, about a particular trade that Kansas City should be looking to. So we'll get to that in just a bit. But I do want to talk about the Buffalo Bills and their stadium. I'm sure if you were at all paying attention this weekend to any of really the sports aggregate sites or accounts, you saw some of the reaction to the Bills' new stadium, where they had like a open house and open practice at Highmark to unveil it to fans. And if you had season tickets, you could sit in your seat that you had purchased. Remember, they did PSLs. We don't know 100% if the Chiefs are. They haven't committed to it, but the Bills did PSLs, and so people spent a huge chunk of change just to reserve the right to buy tickets for Bills games and then future concerts, etc., if they have any there in Buffalo. And so the Bills are out there, and people applauded them for, I guess, the grass playing surface apparently was great. Okay.
Look nice.
Awesome.
The uniforms still look terrible.
Oh, man. And those are their alternate uniforms. They're not even part of the rivalry series thing we were talking about.
They just
those are just
made
additional,
an alternate.
Those are additional alternates that they had. But the conversation was about the stadium, and it was designed by Populous right here in Kansas City. We know Populous is going to design the Chiefs' practice facility, if I'm not mistaken. Manica is going to do the stadium. And so you saw, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 different photos where clearly for a stadium that's over $2 billion, there's design flaws. How did you not figure out a way to not have in one photo someone's in the upper level, and it looks like, I don't know if it's the press box or the suites, there's a whole piece of that sticking out so far that a quarter of the end zone, and maybe the goal line, a quarter of the end zone is not visible from multiple seats in a certain section. How does that happen in 2026? Like, I get it at Wrigley, there's some obstructed views. At Fenway, these are stadiums built way back when, and it was just different, right, in planning and everything, the way we went about it. We have way too much technology and we're able to plan out the design of these stadiums that are over $2 billion. That shouldn't happen. Or in their upper level, the stairs, they have these glass panels, see-through panels. The problem is the seats still are obstructed. You have to see through this glass panel and railing in order to see the rest of the play. That can't happen in these stadiums now.
I don't even understand what happened. It's $2 billion and it's already a dump. Like, Gold, it goes far beyond even the issues you're mentioning, which is like all these obstructed views, which stinks, because anytime you buy a ticket for a Bills game, if you're in Buffalo, tread lightly, or you might end up with a seat where you can't see where the touchdown just got scored. And look, it's already from the upper tank of an NFL stadium. You might be squinting a little bit down the line there anyway. You know, you can't make out every single player there anyway. But to do that and have, I'm not saying zero obstruction seats, but normally those exist in like Fenway or Chicago where they've crammed a bunch of extra seats in because more people want to go to these games and they were built 1 billion years ago. So it's a big open circle. How did that happen? Not to mention they said in the upper level, even though it's super tall, there's no bathrooms on the top. So you have to go like all the way down just to get there. So that was another thing.
They don't have bathrooms at the top level?
Apparently you have to go down to like the level right below it to get to the bathroom.
That makes no sense. I didn't see that.
And then they got these tiny little, like, And I'm not even like Jumbotron guy. I'm not even like, ooh, new digital. It looks tiny. It looks embarrassingly small compared to the stadium size.
$2 billion stadium. The video boards seem kind of small in the end zones for Buffalo.
It looks like one of the most boring stadiums in the league.
Yeah, it's not even, to me, it's not like the boredom part. It's just like the design functionality, like the basic stuff. It's, it's not even so much the whether or not it looks like the best new stadium. It's more of like the basics. I got to be able to get a seat there that isn't obstructed, and multiple seats are obstructed. That just doesn't make any sense for a stadium of that size and just where we're at. I'm really kind of shocked that would happen with the new stadium now, and it scares me a little bit. And I hope this is a lesson for Manica and for the Chiefs that, hey, especially when you're leaving a historic stadium like Arrowhead,
that's what scares me.
You can't then build a brand new stadium and try to mimic Arrowhead the way they are and then have some sight lines that are blocked. Can't happen. It just can't happen. We can argue. There'll be some element of the new stadium
we don't like.
Of course, nobody's going to be happy about everything, the video board size, placement, whatever. But at bare minimum, especially if the Chiefs do PSLs, we don't know for sure. We think they will, but we don't know. If I'm spending $15,000 to have the right to buy season tickets, and I'm in section, I don't know what they'll have it. Let's call it 303. I don't know, whatever. I better be able to see the whole field from my seat, okay?
Or you better tell me before that so I can at least change them out. You can't lock me in for that. And I think that's what, like, this goes back to the stuff with Kauffman and these other stuff. The Chiefs and the Royals have it harder than some of these other stadiums because of the level of iconic both of their buildings are. So we're going to be like with an even more discerning eye, Gold, because if your stadium stinks, they'll just be happy. Like in Nashville, do you think they're going to care like as much in Nashville if there's some issues with the stadiums, seeing how they were coming from a literal dumpster for a building before? No, man, they'll just be happy that it's shiny and new and works. Like maybe we'll complain a little bit, but not nearly as much. With Arrowhead and Kauffman, you're actually coming from buildings people like they actually like these things. And so you actually have to get the decisions right. This Bills one.
That's just something
between
very
the
design
and all
process.
that. You're like, ugh. That stadium just looks boring.
In the design process, I just don't know how you didn't realize that many seats were going to be impacted with the sight lines. So the other part that fans were discussing at the Bills Stadium, that remember their big selling point for their new stadium was the partially. It's not a closed stadium, but they would have some seats covered for rain and elements. Apparently, that the seats that are being covered, it's not nearly as many seats as they claimed at the time. So not as many seats are protected from the elements. It's supposed to protect the wind and all that kind of stuff. Now, some of that we won't know till there's games.
Someone said it was windy, but it's Buffalo, so it's always windy.
That's one of those where, to judge that, you got to just go to a game, I feel like, before you can actually.
But not nearly as many. This goes back to, the Chiefs' original stadium design that I hated so much. They were like, we're going to add, a slight tent. So there's a little protection at Arrowhead. I'm like, this is all you got? This is it? Come on. And, let's protect them. And this is maybe where the dome ends up coming. I know in the end I like an outdoor stadium. I think football should be played outdoors. But I know I won't hate it when I'm there on some January playoff game, Gold, and it's -3 wind chill, and I could just go inside. I know I'm not going to hate it then. I know it.
As you get older, too.
At that point, I'll actually appreciate that it's inside.
There'll be some times where it'll be nice. There'll be other times where it's a beautiful day and it's a bummer that you're not going to have the elements. The fact that the Bills Stadium has grass is it's outdoors. There's no reason not to, but is a big plus. We still are waiting to find official word if the Chiefs will have grass, although we know Mark Donovan and Clark Hunt both emphasize that's their preference.
Yep.
We'll see if they actually get that done. To me, as I said before, if your preference is a grass stadium, Clark Hunt, then make it happen. You can have it. It's your stadium. Yes, it's funded in large part by public money, but it's your stadium. So
if it's a little overrun,
if you want grass, then it should be grass. There should be no issue here.
I'll be happy to. I think they'll do grass field. If they aren't, I'll be first thing 10 a.m. on the day that we find that out, Gold. I will be calling Clark Hunt cheap because to me that'd be the only reason to not do it. And if you're getting the largest public subsidy for a stadium in NFL stadium history, I think it's that crazy to throw in a couple of extra bones in order to get a grass field. So, I think that it's their preference, and I hope that that's the route they go. I'm not going to get pre-mad about it. I'll assume at the moment that's the direction they're going. I will be pissed.
Did you see out of Buffalo, their conspiracy is that because Populous is based in Kansas City, they sabotage. Okay, that's just not how that works. Populous is a worldwide firm that does stadiums. They also have designed numerous other NFL stadiums that are amazing.
Yes.
I think didn't Populous do the Falcons Mercedes
yes
stadium or whatever it is down there in Atlanta? I think I get them confused, but for those that are keeping track, Populous is not doing New Arrowhead. That's Manica. Populous is doing the training facility.
Correct.
And Populous is doing the new Royal Stadium, right? Is that right?
Yes. Wait, I don't think they've announced that
Who's
yet.
doing Royals? Do we know yet?
I don't think they've announced that
Okay,
yet.
we don't know yet? All right.
Maybe they have. Populous did New Yankee Stadium. They did the Battery in Atlanta. They did Target Field. I mean, yeah, I guess I'm just not, worried about it.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, I don't think they've made an official announcement.
I don't think they've officially announced.
Royals firm. Maybe I'm wrong, but
These are pretty well regarded and well thought of stadiums. So I guess I don't overly worry about their ability to do it. They do stuff literally across.
my favorite joke with the stadium in Buffalo was that they just had obstructive views. That way Bills don't see another playoff loss. They just don't make sure you didn't have to witness it.
I don't. It is just one of the most, for all these new stadiums that we've seen open, it is one of the most underwhelming new stadium across the board. Whether it be the video boards, the general look of it, all the issues with the obstructed seats. It's just so underwhelming by them. And look, they had to approve the plans. Buffalo could have said, no, flash it up a little bit. Let's. They had choices in video board size, and it's not like Poppy just said, well, we'd like to give you tiny ones. No, they gave them the size they asked for, and then they approved the design. Be mad at the people who approved the design, not designed it.
Our training camp coverage presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. So, injuries starting to come out across the NFL. Fortunately, Luther Burden going to be out for about a month. Former Missouri Tigers starting wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. They do think he'll be ready for training, or for the start of the regular season, I should say. Then the big injury over the weekend was with the Commanders, a team that already had some question marks on that offensive line. Laramie Tunsil out for most, if not all, the year with a torn tricep. They think it'll be all year. And so naturally, you're like, okay, that's a tackle. Watching training camp.
And their offensive line is awful.
Watching training camp here in Kansas City, we know there's a camp battle appears to happen at right tackle with Benson and Moore. Although now that Trey Smith has missed a third straight practice, Benson continues to work at right guard because Trey Smith's injury. So, okay, we got that going on. We know Jalen Moore's got a big contract. What if Benson wins the job? I saw a lot of people speculating on social, well, then the Chiefs should try to trade Jalen Moore, and I'm telling you that would be a mistake. Unless you can promise me an unrealistic return. It would have to be unrealistic, Cody. It would have to be a return that would unrealistic. It'd have to be a day one or day two pick. So first, second round, most likely. I guess a third could apply. It'd have to be a first or second round pick, and there's no way a team's trading a first or second round pick for Jalen Moore.
Not eating the money.
If the Commanders would do that, then absolutely, it's a trade you have to make. Otherwise, a fourth or fifth round pick is not worth the risk I'm taking of starting an undrafted rookie, and then just the depth I need on my offensive line. I know everybody's very down on Jalen Moore and the contract, et cetera. But I think trading him would be a mistake for a team that has got a quarterback coming off a serious injury, and then you're going to trust an undrafted guy. Benson, long term, we might be sitting here a year from now, and Benson is a very good right tackle. That might be the case. But right now, it is still a massive question. You're going to go on the season with an undrafted rookie. You're going to trade away a guy that has some experience. It would have to be a huge haul and an unrealistic one at that.
I think it's so. I'd kick it around. I'd have kicked it around more a week ago, weirdly enough. But when the injury to Trey Smith happened, and he hasn't been back at practice, I felt like I'm still leaning towards Jalen Moore as the starter, because I think if it were the other way around, they'd be making somebody else kick inside. Not the undrafted free agent rookie. They just leave him at his position. I don't think they'd kick him inside multiple practices in a row if he was the leader in the clubhouse to be the starting right tackle. And so because I think that Jalen Moore is still maybe not ahead by a mile, but the active favorite to be the starter at right tackle, I don't want to do it. Had a week ago you'd asked me and everybody was still playing it and I was starting to think that maybe Khalil Benson was going to actually win the job, I'd do it. Look, they need the money. They could use the cap space to maybe short some other stuff, but the last 2 years they have needed every bit of their line depth, and the check's already been paid by Jalen Moore. I wouldn't do it. Not unless the price was, like you said, completely egregious.
It's not just the depth part of it, but even the salary cap. Well, yes, they don't have the money. We're way too far. There's nobody else to really go out there and sign that you need. That you need to go and spend money on anyway. That move, if you said, they need it for money purposes, that would have been cool 3 weeks ago or a month ago. Now, okay, big deal. You trade away somebody and you free up $7 million for who? For who? Who are we worried that they don't have money to sign?
I mean,
There's nobody
Tyreek,
left.
I guess,
Oh,
would be the
Tyreek, at this
argument.
point, we don't even know if he can play football. He's signing on a nothing deal now. He's going to be ready in October. Maybe he signs the week of the Chiefs' first game, and they put him on the PUP list, and he signs for $7 million. They can free up $7 million with some other moves just in case. I think that move is not realistic. Jalen Moore, he's more valuable, in my opinion, even though we all agree the contract is bad, whether he starts or not. You just cannot give up the depth there. What happens in week 3 if Benson stinks or gets hurt?
It's everything tied together, and that's the issue. It's that my tackle depth would be undrafted free agent rookie Khalil Benson, backed up by Esapola, a guy they cut last year, let come to another team, and only brought him back when they were down like 17 offensive linemen for the whole year. So that already concerns me. Double it down with the fact that your quarterback's coming off a surgically repaired knee. So, if he were healthy and Khalil Benson was in year 2, see you later.
Sure, that's a different conversation.
It's not even the decision's much halfway through the year maybe. If Khalil Benson's healthy and doing well and there's some team who desperately needs a tackle and you got Esapola, it's different at so many different times a year than it is today, right now. And so, that's the part that I'll always run into this issue with on even entertaining it, is that it just doesn't make sense right now. There's a world in which you can create an alternate universe in which it's logical. This is not one of those moments. So we'll see. Someone says Tyreek Hill's 100% going to be a Chief. It's not even debatable. Depends. Like today, for instance.
He might sign eventually, but he's not playing until November, even if he signs next week, guys.
Like Kling just texted us, and today, Patrick Mahomes is just kind of on one, right? He's kind of tearing it up. If you look at the deep balls, they're all going well. He's hit Taekwon a couple of times. Cyrus Allen and Rashee Rice were out there doing first-team reps together. So we're getting a good sense of, the actual team. They look good today, right? They're on it. I'm still convinced that the Chiefs, mostly because it's how they did their plan the last 2 years, are going to enter the season with this wide receiver unit because they think it's good enough. And if they get desperate and something has to change and they got to go trade for their DeAndre Hopkins or sign Tyreek Hill in September, they will. But I think they want to get a couple games in of this unit before they make any decisions.
Cody, no offense, we're way past that. Of course that's the unit they're planning in. We're way past Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, he wouldn't be available. He's not available. Once camp opened up, and especially once Stephon Diggs signed with the Commanders, this is the wide receiver room.
I can't even think about who'd be left.
Keenan Allen is the only other name out there.
Yeah.
It would take another injury. It would take another injury at this point. So, no, this is the wide receiver room. The guys that are here are who are going to be not only for week 1, but I think the majority of the season. And, yes, there is a chance that Tyreek Hill signs in early September, but by all accounts, he's not ready to play football. I don't know if he could pass a physical yet. So he's probably a PUP-less guy immediately, or an IR guy. I guess I don't remember what the deadlines are for IR, but that's it. Now, the good news is part of this conversation is we can have it because Xavier Worthy returned to practice today. Now, he did not do the full team stuff. He's not doing it right now, in fact.
No.
But he did practice today. Rashee Rice is out. Rashee, we got the ones right in front of us. Rashee Rice is continuing to go through full practices now. So they're getting healthier at the wide receiver spot. Cyrus Allen is out here right now with the ones as well.
Rashee lined up in the slot, Allen on the outside, and then Mahomes got a scramble, realized he didn't have anything, and dumped it off. But
Bouchard Smith,
who was definitely not going to score if that was a real play. That might have been a throw that he was better off throwing into the dirt.
Mahomes might have been sacked if that was a real play.
Well, I think what happened there is Mahomes realized that's all the time the play would technically have, and so he just did the quick little throw dump off. We'll give you a couple more, let you know what's happening here from training camp. But first, let's get to a little Camp Darling Island.
9 players arrive in St. Joe for Camp Island. Only one can take home the final prize. Who will be the Chiefs' Camp Darling?
No eliminations happening today. That
could
do
later in the week,
tomorrow or Wednesday, heading into the first preseason game of the year. For those that don't know, we drafted a couple players all the way back on day 1 of training camp. Last year's Camp Darling Island was Taekwon Thornton. We added a new bombshell to the island last week with Benson. Of course, he's been one of the great stories of camp so far. Here's who's remaining on the island: Cyrus Allen, Emmett Johnson, who's going to join us after practice today, Jeffrey Bassa, R. Mason Thomas, Jaden Canaday, Jalen Royals, and Benson, as we mentioned. So we've eliminated Gelati, Nussmeier, Lloyd, and Caldwell.
So over the weekend, one day ago, if we were doing an elimination day, Cyrus Allen had a one-handed catch up on the Chiefs' social media page. We know that would have kept him safe
anyway.
He was safe anyway, but just letting you know
safe anyway.
that he would have been in there. Khalil Benson shown at least one. They showed Tyquan Thornton, last year's winner.
I mean, the two names that stand
catching
out,
one,
and we're not eliminating today, but the two names, Canada and Royals, would be the two that are going to be up for debate tomorrow, I feel like, barring a sudden shift today.
I will say that those guys seem the most likely. Basa's got to be talked about. I mean, what's he doing? I mean, is he getting?
He's healthy
is he
now.
getting buzz,
He's
though?
back healthy. That's good.
Is he getting any buzz though? I mean,
No.
After this first preseason game, he will.
See, that's the thing. It's like, who do we feel like we got to discuss as a group?
That's why.
Who do we think is most likely to be a name who shows out in a preseason game? Canada's probably less likely.
Yeah.
So, like, when we start doing those conversations, like, it's hard to stand out as a corner.
Emmett Johnson probably can't get eliminated until after the first preseason game, just because there's a real chance he's going to get a lot of work, guys.
And if he's not
Saturday.
good, then he might be
Sure.
the
Yes.
guy that is gone
on
for
Monday.
sure.
Absolutely, I think that's true.
But, Islands still get eliminations, even if they're tough ones. Tough decisions sometimes get made. And, look, the truth is that if we eliminated Jalen Royals tomorrow.
That's my vote right now.
And then on Saturday, he had 5 catches for 70 yards. Well, then maybe he gets to come back.
I have a question. I'm going to give you
life is life.
I'm going to give a random example. If Jake Brenningstool has 2 touchdowns and Andy shouts him out after the preseason, is he another bombshell?
I think you only get to
done?
add one new person to the island, and you only get to bring one person back to the island.
That was already on there.
So the bombshells already existed. Khalil Benson's it. Nobody can come. No new person can come on.
Gotcha.
But someone could come back to the island.
Sure.
Well, right
if we
now,
eliminate Jalen Royals and then he goes off, he can be invited.
I mean, most likely to get invited back on would be someone like if Jeff Caldwell out of nowhere had a huge preseason game. He goes in with Garrett Nussmeier. They're carving up defenses.
He has like 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. Jeff Caldwell coming back. He was like the first guy off the board pretty much.
Yeah.
Other than I think the first guy was actually
something
Garrett
tells
Nussmeier.
me Emmett Johnson on Saturday is going to have a nice day.
Garrett Nussmeier goes for 303 tutties. Then we got to do something different.
Yeah. The Gumbo Gunslinger might have to come back.
Goodness.
He's not going for that. He's going to play like a quarter.
Our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Coming up next, we'll get to the 11 o'clock hour. At some point next hour, we're expected to have practice wrap up. It looks like it might be closer to 11:20. We'll see. Practice will wrap up. We'll have Emmett Johnson joining us, Chiefs rookie running back out of Nebraska. We'll also hear from Andy Reid. So that's coming up in the next hour. But up next, while we're waiting for that, we'll also talk a little bit more about a broadcasting shakeup maybe on the way, both on the NFL and college front.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. plus a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
What's up, y'all? It's Drew. Let me be real for a second. We got the preseason coming up, and it's game week. And yes, it's the preseason, so good enough. It might pass for those guys, but good enough, and it shouldn't be good enough for you at all any week. That's exactly why Blue Chew just raised the bar for you. Blue Chew Gold is the revolutionary 4-in-1 upgrade that targets both your brain and your body. It dissolves right under your tongue and starts working in as little as 15 minutes, so there's less waiting, more action, and more confidence as well. A whole new level of readiness for you. Get started today at BlueChew.com and see why millions of men trust Blue Chew. Now with the gold standard upgrade that's changing the game for good. Ladies, if you're listening, send your man the link and make him a trophy husband with Blue Chew Gold. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's a special deal for you there. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code KFNZ. That's promo code KFNZ. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety info.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale is back. The tires at cost sale. That's right. You pay what we pay on any in-stock tires from Telly's huge inventory. Our certified techs will even mount and balance them for only $30 per tire. All that plus a 30-day ride guarantee and lifetime tire protection. Gas and grocery prices may be going up, but there's never been a better time to buy tires. Reserve yours now at TELLEtire.com before our sale ends. Take care of your car. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
You work hard, you pay your bills, but with credit cards, higher gas and grocery prices, you're making the payments, but not getting ahead. This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. Golden Oak can help you refinance, consolidate bills, and free up monthly cash flow. Call today for a free mortgage checkup. There's never a charge to talk with us.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
NMLS 114937. Call 913-890-GOLD.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp this summer on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
11 o'clock hour as we continue broadcasting live up in St. Joe. Chiefs practice still going on. Probably got another, 15, 20 minutes or so left of practice today. First one since Saturday. They were off yesterday. It is game week. Chiefs getting set for their first preseason game on Saturday right here on 96.5 The Fan. Currently watching the third-string quarterback Garrett Nussmeier work with the offense and some red zone drills right in front of us. Our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp up here in St. Joe. Drew is producing the show back in Kansas City. Reminder, we're going to be joined by rookie running back Emmett Johnson after practice today. There was a play.
He just caught the ball from Garrett Nussmeier.
He did just now, but I don't know what, Cody, 10 minutes or so ago, there was a play when he was running with the ones, and he got popped pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
He got popped pretty good. Got just almost clotheslined at one point. We'll have to ask him about that. And we know over the weekend there were a lot of skirmishes. Today, mood's a little more lax in terms of that. Maybe the day off. Day off did it because the tensions were a little high on Saturday. I'm sorry.
You and I have covered enough of these training camps now at this point. I don't think they get through one without one little dust up.
Yeah.
I've seen Mahomes yell at people, Kelsey, multiple guys.
There were two on Saturday. I mean, you had Kenneth Walker tackling Gilman, and then you had the Kingsley FAU punch fight, whatever you want to call it, that happened at camp. The Kenneth Walker one, I love that, by the way. Maybe I don't like the punches because you can get hurt.
Yeah, don't
Kenneth Walker
don't
throwing the football at Gilman and just tackling him. I don't know. They need someone with some fire on the offense as well. It can't just be Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. So.
I also just think it's a byproduct of running a camp that is as intense as their camp. You know, when you do that and you're constantly hitting and it's hot as hell up here, you eventually just get tired of each other. It's why the game on Saturday is important. So at least you can finally take out your frustration and energy on literally anyone else besides the same guy you've been trying to block for the better part of a month.
Before we get to maybe a shakeup in broadcasting coming in the NFL, some broadcasters with contracts expiring, and our dream list maybe of broadcast announcing crew shakeup. John Sherman, the owner and CEO of the Royals, joined Vern for an exclusive interview. You heard that earlier today at 7:20 during Fesco and Dusty. We're going to play the full interview coming up at 12:30. But one of the things that stood out, there were a few things certainly, but one of the things that stood out was when Vern was asking about next year. And does this organization, was there a thought of resetting next year?
You're not interested in any sort of reset, obviously not rebuild, taking any sort of a step back to take two forward.
Well, we think about it. We talk about it. We challenge ourselves. I mean, I challenged JJ to think about that. You know, what can we get for these guys? What could we do? And the analysis was that was going to, we're taking a risk that may or may not work out, and it was setting us back. And I think the belief in our core and in the ability to go invest and make sure that we have a rotation that can keep us in games, and, of course, rebuilding the bullpen to make sure we can close games out. We were talking about, you know, you sit up here at a game like last night, right? And you think about 14-15. You get to the sixth inning, and, you know, it changes the way you play the game, right? Because any way you can get ahead by the sixth inning, you kind of wrap this thing up. So the players think about it differently. They're more urgent. We'll bunt. We'll run the bases, play good defense. And I'm not saying we're going to find an HDH, but you got to get back to having that bullpen that you know can close games out.
So acknowledged, and again, that was John Sherman with Josh Vernier, acknowledged that they had a conversation about what a reset could look like, but didn't like it sounds like the return and what they would have. Clearly, their actions at the deadline showed us that they're not going to have a reset or rebuild next year. I mean, look, the bullpen has to completely be revamped. We know that, but they're going to have to put some money into this team next year, more so than they have. And that's not to say they've been cheap. They were 19th, I think, in payroll. They were way above multiple teams in their division. They were above some other teams that are leading their division.
Those teams are winning and cheaper, though. That's
correct.
Frustrating.
Well, that goes back to the question about the front office, right?
Yeah.
And, yes, they have been very banged up this year. Nobody's disputing the injuries, but there was flat-out poor performances in guys that they invested in that just did not perform this year. Plain and simple. Yes, eventually Jonathan India got hurt, but that was a doubling down on a decision from the Brady Singer trade.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about Cags, and It's really difficult because there's parts of me that don't disagree with some of their assessment. As in, their young offensive core. I don't disagree with the assessment that they've got talent there. I don't. I think there is a lot of talent there. Now, I would say, I feel like it might need to be like one piece taken out of that and a different piece put in to make the parts fit better. If, like we talked about Garcia or Vinny, I think there might be like a one subtraction, one addition, but it's mostly the same core thing that is needed. But Carter, Cags, Bobby, Michael Garcia. Those are talented baseball players who put up real numbers in Major League season, been multi-win WAR players in Major League season. So, I do kind of get it. The pitching staff, though, what is your plan there? Genuinely, how much money are you willing to throw at this thing? Because it's going to require a lot if you want to resolve both the bullpen and the starting rotation. Or it's going to require those kinds of trades that we talked about in that early portion, too. I'm glad to know that at least they had the conversation because genuinely you have to. You better sit down with your boss and say, "Do we just got to tear this thing down and start over?"
And the full interview you'll hear at 12:30, and so you'll hear what Vern asked about the front office. It was very clear. If you haven't heard the whole interview, it was very clear, and there is no doubt that J.J. Piccolo's job is safe heading into the offseason. There is no doubt.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know if that means any other pieces of the front office could be out. We don't know for sure if Q and the coaching staff are fully back. But it was very clear in the full interview, you hear it, that J.J. Piccolo, John Sherman still has ultimate confidence in him. It wasn't a vote of confidence like the kind that can be bad, right? This was I got the
right guy still.
He trusts J.J. Piccolo still moving forward into 2027.
Yeah, and so, again, if you're not a fan of J.J. Piccolo, and after this season, few are, because that's what happens when you don't have winning ways.
Sure.
People immediately – because
Absolutely.
if the Chiefs have a bad season this year, people will turn on Veach quick.
People will turn on Andy and everybody.
Quick. They're going to turn on them all. Winning cures all woes. For all the people who hate JJ now, if they go out and make the playoffs and make a run, well, then they won't hate JJ as much next year. But I both think that's it's going to take some work.
They have to have the best offseason of this regime. And you were like,
correct.
Hey, a couple off seasons ago, they nailed it with going out and signing Lugo and Waka, and then they made the trade earlier that year with Reagans. That was an unbelievable stretch. They have to do that and more. It sounds crazy, but that's kind of, in my opinion, in order to be a playoff team next year, they have to have that sort of offseason again. Is it impossible? No. Is it very difficult? And in my opinion, unlikely? Yes.
The only way to do it without that is to have everyone get back on the same track again, right? No slow starts, no.
But injuries are going to happen next year too. Spoiler, you're not making it through next season with your starting rotation, no injuries.
It's also just, I guess the difficult part is it's going to be a medium ground. It won't look like the injuries this year.
I agree.
But JJ coming on the show, I think it was last week, and saying, 2 years ago, it's no secret when we made the playoffs, we essentially were healthy the entire time, no injuries, no problems. I'm like, yeah, but you got to be able to win even if something crops up. That's the whole thing. 2 years ago, the year that they made the postseason, they were in a heated race with the Cleveland Guardians, a team who lost Shane Bieber, a former Cy Young Award winner, day one. So, you got to be able to take in some, maybe not this amount of injury, but you got to be able to take on some water before the boat sinks. 2 years ago, you made the playoffs, sure. There wasn't even a thimble inside. The boat wasn't wet. You were dry docked. It didn't matter. But, this part, you have to be able to, take on a little bit of trouble and still have enough organizational depth. Now, I will say that was at least and I was critical of them, they didn't have a lot of talent. No pitching in AAA, admittedly, after the injuries.
Sorry, Brashard Smith just muffed a punt.
Yeah. But no injuries, at least no depth because of the injuries in AAA. But for guys who you weren't necessarily counting on this year, at least Nick Lofton and Michael Matt, at least some of their AAA, 4A depth or whatever you want to say, at least some of those guys are contributors this year. They were at least nice players. It doesn't solve all your problems, but at least you handled some of the depth. Pitching-wise, they never. They didn't have anybody. They just signed Craig Kimbrell.
36-year-old.
Last year worse than what they've been rolling out?
No, but it's just, but I will say, and I know they're just trying to find an arm to eat innings and get done with the season. But that kind of stuff, those are the signings we remember from, I won't say our childhood, but certainly we were a lot younger.
Yeah, it's
those are the type of, that was
long over.
That's oh gosh.
It's that. It's the guys.
It's the Dick Mountain signing from last year. It's Craig Kimbrell this year. You know your season's not going well when that kind of stuff is happening.
I just remember like Juan Gonzalez when you're like, I remember when they were great. And by the time they got here, you're like, but I know that they're not that anymore. It's like
Craig Kimbrell 4 years ago.
He was an awesome pitcher in his career.
4 years ago we've been talking. He hasn't been good in 3 years, but they're trying to get somebody to just eat some innings in that bullpen too.
And genuinely, I'm not sure that the performance could be worse.
No, they have. I don't know what the updated numbers are. At one point, they had the 5th worst bullpen in Royals history. I don't know where it's at now.
It's got to be somewhere between 3rd and 7th. Can't imagine it's gotten much better.
Right.
They blew one, I don't know, a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And they gave up 10 runs yesterday. So I mean,
yes, they did.
I was hoping they'd win yesterday, so we could like come in here and be like, Cags had a great game and they won a couple games, and like I know it doesn't mean anything, but it just feels nice.
Oh, we still did. We still talked about Cags because that has long-term ramifications. Losing a game yesterday doesn't have any change in the long-term outlook of the team. It's all individual performances now that we're keeping an eye on. What does Cags look like? What does Carter look like?
How did Lynch do in his start?
And he only got 2 innings. We wondered what kind of leash they would give him.
Got roughed up in the second one.
Yeah.
But, I would say if anybody is going to make a decision on whether or not Daniel Lynch can start off at 2 innings,
sure,
I would tell you to
see the rest of the way.
Now, it looked like a reliever, right? First inning went great. A couple of other guys saw him. It didn't go great. But that's literally one start. He's going to start the rest of the way.
We'll get to the trash of the day here in about 7 minutes or so as we are still waiting for practice to wrap up, and then we'll let you know when we have Emmett Johnson joining us. But we'll get to the trash of the day, a story out of this one in particular was a story out of Canada, so we'll see if we have time for that. But I want to talk about broadcasting for a second. So we know we saw Thursday Night Football's crew, Sunday Night Football crew that was doing the Thursday game, I should say, with Mike Tirico and Collinsworth. They added in Mike Tomlin. We all know Tony Romo is on leave. Maybe he doesn't keep his job. Maybe he does. And so J.J. Watt is now going to be part of the CBS crew. Well, we entered the final year this year. Did you know that Troy Aikman, Greg Olson, Kirk Herbstreit all are heading to the final year of their contracts with their respective television?
I don't know if they're all doing it at the same time. It's
so
weird.
This is the obvious hope for me is this. And I think you'll be on board with this.
Okay, I'm listening.
So we know Thursday night is still Al Michaels and Herbstreit. Al Michaels says he's not retiring anytime soon. Okay. I'm talking about the analysts, not the play-by-play guys here. So the names I mentioned, Aikman, Olson, Herbstreit. I'm hoping that Herbstreit, who's amazing at college, who's got such a busy schedule, I'm hoping when his contract's done at the end of this year, he walks away, focuses back on college football. Greg Olson says, hey, Fox, you don't value me. You like Tom Brady better. I leave. Greg Olson becomes Thursday night commentator on Prime. Boom, problem solved.
I think Kirk Herbstreit is not good on Thursday Night Football. I think he's a perfect fine. Spend more time with Peter or whatever you got to do, but get off of my Thursday Night Football.
Peter's his dog, by the way.
Go do College Game Day, do all the other stuff. That's fine. I don't think he's bad at. I don't like this.
He's phenomenal at college football.
I was going to say this
he's
is
the
not
best.
This is not a Jason Garrett thing. This is an NFL specific thing. I think he's too busy. He has too many jobs, so he can't be good at all of them. And this is the one he's not good at. So I would prefer that he gets off of that. If you told me he was Greg Olson with Al Michaels, I could definitely see that. Now I fear Al Michaels.
He's got only 2 or 3 years left.
He
max,
is still good
at broadcasting.
I still like Al Michaels. I just think Al Michaels is good at it. But the fear is always, and you and I have watched enough broadcasters, local or national or otherwise, that it's kind of like athletes. The decline comes fast, hard and fast sometimes. So I'd be a little bit concerned about him as the play-by-play guy in the long term. But, yeah, fine. Pair me up with Greg Olson. What's your plan? Here's the one thing. You and I don't know. I can't remember if we've talked about this one or not. I actually think Troy Aikman's pretty decent at it.
He is.
Like, I think he's
Buck
one of those guys
Aikman
kind of
right
like
now.
Joe Buck. I think both those guys get hate. And I'm like, I'm not sure why you hate this broadcast. It's a clean broadcast.
No, Buck and Aikman on ESPN, they've elevated Monday Night Football back closer to what it was, right? There was that stretch of, I don't know, I felt like 8 years where it was brutal. The crews were terrible. There's not good fits. Now Monday Night Football kind of feels big again. I don't know if you agree. I still think Sunday Night Football is the best of the group, but Monday Night Football feels big again. And the Chiefs open up the season this year on Monday night against the Denver Broncos, obviously. But I think Buck and Aikman are a perfect pairing. We all know they've been doing games together going back to the Fox days for a very long time. My guess is Aikman will have his contract renewed with ESPN and they'll move forward with Monday Night Football together. But I just think the switch should be Olsen, who clearly is not happy being the number 2 guy at Fox now that Brady's there. And Brady's gotten better in his years. But I think Olsen moves to Prime. That's my prediction.
You think there's a chance?
This year.
I just want to toss in another name since we're discussing it. Herbstreit goes, let's say. They need a new color guy. They're at the beginning of the season. Travis?
It's a possibility.
He's going to get into broadcasting
To do
and he might
analysis?
get to do color.
I think he's more.
Why is that crazy? I mean, Romo did it immediately.
Yeah, but
after
Travis is more of a pre and post guy.
Except he's got the personality. That he's more on the studio show. I'm kind of with Drew on that. I think he's more of the goofier guy that's going to be doing the studio show.
Yeah, get you
the
hyped up
post-game
for a game.
show.
Yeah.
He's going to do what Jason is doing on ESPN already. That kind of stuff. I don't think he's going week to week, city to city, analyzing plays and. I don't think that's his role.
I mean, it's been a lot of quarterbacks. Obviously, Aikman, former quarterback. Romo, former quarterback. But Greg Olsen got into it immediately, and he's a former tight end. I don't, and him, they're boys. So I don't know if Olsen likes the gig, if Travis wouldn't be at least. It's a better gig. Like, it's a more high-profile gig. How about that?
Well, sure, that's why I think
Being the
Olsen
color
would leave. Or someone brought up another scenario. Let's say that Romo doesn't return to CBS. There's a real possibility.
Yeah.
Maybe the J.J. Watt-Nance thing doesn't work out, and then CBS then just hires Greg Olsen away from Fox.
Yeah, or again,
and it's Nance and Olsen in 2027.
Is there another former athlete who's going to be thrust into the role of moved up the ladder? Because JJ, let's say get the one, that still opens a possibility of who's the two in the broadcast. And I understand there's like different levels of it. Travis, I think, is going to immediately get one of the important jobs. He's either going to be on a studio immediately or he's going to be a color commentator. And I wouldn't completely rule out color commentation. Just knowing that, and I guess
He doesn't feel like a color. He feels more like Pat McAfee, where he'll just do random stuff. Like Travis just feels like a hype guy. Not to say that that's what he is, but like he obviously knows the stuff. Right. But Travis is that frat type. He gives off that vibe, I guess.
No, I'm saying that's the studio. It's the Michael Irvin studio show. I'll do anything for.
100%. He's the personality fits that way more. You can show your personality more in that setting.
I mean, did you guys know? Do you guys remember Greg Olsen's playing career? That's exactly who Greg Olsen was. He was getting in trouble for that video he was doing when he was in a rap in Miami.
Greg Olsen
he was a goofy dude his entire
But Greg
career.
Olsen's brand and everything was so different than Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is still playing football, and he's already doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's.
I'm just saying,
same.
like Greg Olsen's brand was frat bro. Like you guys are describing a little bit. That was Greg Olsen's brand, Drew. He wasn't, like Mr. Follow the, like I mean not that, but like he had a reputation of at least being party.
But
happy
look at
time.
Amazon Prime. Like their pregame show is what Whitworth, Sherm, Fitzpatrick. I just think Travis would fit on a show like that.
Yeah, and Jason, right? Obviously,
Jason does the ESPN version of it. Yeah.
And he
So
does.
who knows? He obviously is going to have every opportunity open to him,
whichever one he wants.
Moving forward, assuming this is his last year in the NFL. By the way, practice. You might have heard the horn behind us. I don't know if that came across over the air. I think it did, but that practice just wrapped up. They're doing their stretching, huddling up, and then I'm guessing in about 5 to 10 minutes we're going to hear from Emmett Johnson. Let's actually get a quick trash of the day in, and then we'll get a break in, and we'll move from there. So, Drew, let's get to the trash.
Trash of the day.
All right, this one takes us to Canada. Porter Airlines. I'll be honest, I've never heard of Porter Airlines in my life.
Nope.
I've heard of Air Canada, of course, but not Porter Airlines. Anyway, it was a flight in Canada. Had to get canceled, Cody. You have kids, so maybe you can relate to this. I don't know. Have you flown with your kids yet anywhere?
Nope.
Okay, you still haven't.
This
okay.
summer or next summer, I think we got plans.
So you haven't had to deal with packing the kids, loading them up, dealing with the chaos of that.
No,
okay.
but it stinks even if you're in the car.
All right, so a Porter Airlines flight in Canada was canceled last week after a young child refused to sit down and buckle up, forced the plane to go back to the terminal and delaying it past the airport's runway closure. And so the crew and parent repeatedly tried to unsuccessfully secure the child in a seat before returning the plane to the terminal. They said removing the parent and child in the baggage delayed the Toronto flight past 12:30, which is when 12:30 a.m., which is when the runway closed. So forced the whole remaining passengers to disembark. They couldn't leave that night. They had to cancel the whole flight because of the way the runway worked there. So how upset and ticked off?
How old was the
you?
kid?
It does not say actually. Can you imagine?
I'd be so mad
I mean,
if
you as the parent would also be just as ticked off it. But can you imagine if you're just on a flight and somebody else's kid won't sit down on the plane so much that my flight gets canceled? Oh man!
I'd be mad at my own kid. I'd be mad at that kid. But this is where we got to get in the bribery game. I thought we've all done this. What can did you want? Cash. I'll give you literally anything to sit in that seat rather than us not take off on an airplane. Gold, it's a hostage situation, and I will pay the ransom at that stage. Like, genuinely, I will do. And I guarantee you, any parent who's had young kids before, they know that they've been stuck in a situation where, like, the pressure is mounting for you to either get this kid under control or to, like, get out of somewhere or get out of the house. And you don't care. You'll be like, I want to wear rain boots. Fine. You win. I don't care that it's 115
You don't
degrees
think
outside.
the parent,
Throw on
Cody,
the wellies. I
you don't-
got to live my life.
You don't think the parent and flight attendants weren't trying
Man, I
to?
would
They
think
said
so.
flight attendants. You don't think they didn't try to bribe the kid with snacks and,
There's just
and
nothing.
drinks and
Candy,
whatever
snacks,
they wanted on
money.
the plane? Yeah.
I mean, if I were a different passenger, I'd be like, I'll give you $20 cash.
Yeah,
What does it
well,
take to sit in the seat?
I don't think the kid is.
The
I'm guessing
kid is probably young.
I don't think the kid's taking cash, Cody. I'm guessing.
My kid would take cash if it was a problem.
Did the old?
Now.
I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't know. Like in that spot, yeah. Did the snacks, the candy, the iPad, none of that worked?
Normally.
That's an all-time story, by the way. When that kid grows up, your parents are going to hold that over your head forever. Like,
yeah.
Remember when we couldn't go on our trip because you wouldn't sit your ass down in the seat?
Yeah, you feel no sympathy. Like, my kid's been a little crabby this weekend. Well, at least they didn't keep you from getting on an airplane one time. And I'll tell you this much: it's going to prevent those parents from wanting to put that kid on a plane.
As just a
For
regular
a while.
passenger, I would be livid.
Oh,
and I know it's not the parents' fault, but I would be livid.
Because it's like what led, unless like if there's a developmental delay or something, like you're understanding depending on the circumstances. But genuinely, it's just that's bribery time. That's whatever you want. What's that pony you've been asking? Whatever.
We'll buy it for you right now.
Or at least I will say yes to anything in that moment. Maybe I'll backtrack and deal with the consequences later. I will say yes to anything in that moment to get you in the seat and get you buckled.
Someone says, could they not just drop the kid and the parent out the door and take off? No, they had to go all the way back.
And
they got the baggage.
This isn't the 1950s. You can't crack half a Xanax and give it to a kid either. You gotta actually follow the law and maybe not drug your kid, which other
what
people
a
are
mess.
suggesting.
Oh, the whole flight canceled. Man, oh man. That is the trash of the day. Our training camp coverage here on 96.5 The Fan is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Up next, we're expected to hear from Andy Reid. Also, Chiefs rookie running back Emmett Johnson going to stop by.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Man, that was the insurance company again.
What'd they say?
They want another statement, more paperwork. They're telling me what my car's worth. Now they want all my medical records.
Dude, why are you dealing with all that?
Call the Car Crash Kings.
One call and they deal with the insurance company for you. The calls, the paperwork, the negotiations. You just focus on getting better.
Hurt in a car wreck? Don't do it yourself. Call the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely from advertisements.
Hi, I'm Michaela, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You found your dream engagement ring. As a jewelry consultant, I recommend to start shopping for your wedding band 6 months before your big day. Don't worry. At Shane Company, we're here to help you find the perfect bands. Our men's and women's bands are crafted to high-quality standards, and it shows in every detail, with a stylish design and comfortable fit. At Shane Company, we'll take care of your engagement ring and wedding bands for life, because a friend wants you to say, I do, to your rings again and again. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you're looking for a new job and to work for a great local company, Gann Asphalt and Concrete is hiring. Top pay in the industry, health, vision, dental insurance, paid time off, and advancement opportunities. Check them out at GannAsphalt.com. One contractor, all things parking lot.
Red Eddie. Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials, ice-cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel. Let's go! One team, one goal! Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made. Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
All right, we're back here at Chiefs training camp. Cody and Gold hanging out here on a Monday, padded practice after the off day yesterday. And I believe, Drew, we have Andy, is that right? Okay, well, let us know when we got Andy at the podium. I believe he will be heading to the podium in just a second. We're also going to have Emmett Johnson, Chiefs running back, join us. And actually, we're going to pause on Andy because Emmett's pulling up in a golf cart right now.
Sure
so
is.
We'll hear from Andy in a little bit later on into the noon hour because we'll also have Nate Taylor stopping by. But no reason to go to the podium while Emmett Johnson is drink a little water, and then he'll make his way over here. Rookie running back, and we've had a lot of people ask us even today, like, hey, how does Brashard Smith look? How does Emmett Johnson look? Big question for both of them. Can they help on special teams, and how's the pass protection?
He also got clotheslined today.
He did.
In, like, epic fashion, like old, I think Josh Briscoe put it like old NFL street style clothesline today. So, yeah, I'm sure this is his first real Chiefs training camp, and so we'll get a sense of how he's liked it so far, if he's ready to actually play a game coming up on Saturday, which I imagine if you're a running back, better to get an actual sense of how you're moving in space and how you're using the offense. And, maybe back to some of the draft day stuff. We had a chance to talk with him a little bit earlier on there as well. So we'll hope to talk to Emmett Johnson here in just a couple of minutes as he's getting, I think, his press briefing. Gold, is that right?
Yes, they always give him a little heads up. Hey, by the way, these two idiots are going to ask you about this.
Cody might ask you to be featured on a song. Just tell him no.
They might ask you about shoes on or shoes off. No, we haven't asked the player about that. I feel like we can't go there. It would have to be with the player in a non-setting.
Someone we knew.
And also not in a camp setting. This would be like an off-season, just in studio type of thing as Emmett Johnson is making his way. Could you imagine?
Only way to ask that is somebody I know.
Yeah, you can't. He called into the show after practice, after maybe the draft or something like that at one point. I think it was minicamp, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, our player interviews here on 96.5 The Fan are presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com as Chiefs running back Emmett Johnson joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. How's camp? Just start there, man. This is your first NFL camp, so
yes,
how we doing?
Good, man. My bad. Good. It's been going good so far, man. Just been stacking days, getting better every single day. But just overall blessed to be out here, blessed to have this opportunity, and just making the most out of it.
What's the biggest difference? I mean, I know college camps can be grinds too, but what's the biggest difference for you?
Oh, just the speed of the game and then the details. Like, every little thing matters, and finishing at this level is huge. So just playing the game faster, being able to process information faster, that's it.
We know one of the detail guys is Eric Bieniemy. We could hear him, honestly, from here.
Yeah.
Talking about some of the stuff. What was it like getting EB back? I guess what do you like about his coaching style, those things?
Yeah, I love EB, man. I feel like him just coaching everybody hard, and, especially me, I love when he coaches me hard because I know he's going to get the most out of me. It's good to have him back, man. We love him being here because everybody knows that he means love for us, and so – yeah, it's great to have him back.
What's the biggest emphasis, I guess, that on a daily basis, what's the thing maybe that he's coaching you up on the most?
Oh, just like I said, the details, man, finishing, having effort, those things should be non-negotiables. Every time we're on the football field, we shouldn't have, a second thought about finishing every single run, every single catch. Even when you don't have the ball in your hands, just finishing, and I feel like that's what he's brought to the program.
When you look at, I guess, like little plays, we saw a couple like the chippiness over the weekend. We've been to enough camps. We understand that people do this. You got clotheslined. It looked like pretty strong there.
Yeah.
You good?
No, I'm great.
That one didn't
look
like it felt good.
That's just football, man. It was 7-on-7, but I can't be doing that. I gotta use my pad level, and next time you're gonna see what happens. So.
Is that what it is about getting low?
Yeah, just getting low, just staying low, keeping your pad level low, and finishing most importantly. So.
We got Chiefs rookie running back Emmett Johnson joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. We had you on the show. I think you called in maybe after OTAs or after the draft or something. We were talking about your Nebraska days. You played at Arrowhead. You played there last year. What do you think, though, Saturday? I know it's still preseason. What do you think Saturday is going to be like?
It's going to be great, man. I feel like it's going to be a great environment. Great fan base out there. It's going to be really loud. But most importantly, I'm just going to go out there and make the most out of my opportunity. And that's just playing play-by-play and doing what God put me on this earth to do and helping the team win. So that's what I'm focused on.
Do they give you an indication going into it, like, all right, hey, we're going to use you in these spots, or you get an idea of the plan going into it versus maybe a different week?
I haven't really heard much about it yet, but like I said, whatever opportunity I get, I'm going to make the most out of it, and I'm just going to go out there and just play like how I've been playing in practice. That's most important.
Our boss is a Nebraska fan, right? Our boss, so
yeah.
Look, and there's people that came up here to our tent earlier. They're big Nebraska fans. This is kind of the combination. I think people are rooting for you. Also, for that very reason, Nebraska football, what are we looking at this year?
Yeah, man, it's going to be exciting. I'm really proud of what Coach Rule and them are doing over there. I got a lot of love and support for them. I got a lot of friends still on the football team, so I'm excited to watch what they do this year with Calandria and all the running backs and all the great receivers they have. It's just going to be a special season for them, and I'm be excited for them.
Are you enjoying the Big Ten SEC trash talk that's happening from all the coaches? Big Ten's kind of running things.
Yeah,
right
I told Man Stewart that the other day. I was telling him, like, I know you're in the SEC, but the Big Ten has been running the conference and been running college football for the past 3-4 years. So,
do you want a 2024 team playoff? You want it to be more?
Yeah, I think more opportunity. It would just be cool. I feel like the playoffs is really cool for people to watch, and like more games and everything would be really, really fun for people to watch.
What do you think about, I guess, like that part of like the home site ones too? Do you like? Because I think college football, it's about home stadiums. Like if Vinny's place,
it is.
It shouldn't be a road environment.
I agree. I think especially when we're coming from Nebraska, 90,000 fan base is like, if we have a home game and it's playoff time, like it's gonna be rowdy in there. And I feel like the team that has more wins or has a home advantage, that should be a part of the game. I feel like that's going to be more fun.
What was the other than at home there at Memorial there in Nebraska and Lincoln? What's the best venue you played in so far in your football career?
Best venue. I feel like Ohio State was cool, but I think Colorado.
Boulder. Okay.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. That was a cool game. And then I liked playing in the Rose Bowl, but there wasn't it wasn't as packed. But I just liked the scenery there. That was cool. But I would definitely say Colorado, my redshirt freshman year when we played there. That thing was rocking. Yeah.
So I saw over the summer you threw out the first pitch at a Royals game.
Yeah.
You went to a KC Current game. Did you stay in town the whole stretch? Or
not the whole time. Not the whole time. I was training in Florida and things like that. But I came back and like I said, I like watching baseball. I grew up playing. It was my best sport growing up. So like. Just being around the game and throwing out the first pitch was a blessing. But I love like supporting the community. If I get a chance to watch high school games or go out and do that, I did that in college. So
what position did you play in baseball?
Shortstop, center field, left field. Those really three. I'd probably play shortstop if I would have kept playing. So
did you? Did you ever consider it? Did you consider
I did, and my
continue
dad
to pursue it?
My dad told me to keep playing, and I stopped. I thought it was boring at the time, but it was my best sport. So,
hey, you got to the NFL, so you weren't all that bad. You weren't all that bad at football.
Yeah, same with basketball too. I love both, so it was cool.
When you look at, I guess, how do you, like I said, you didn't spend your entire offseason. We like to get to know. Sometimes it's hard to know what you do. What are things you wish people knew about you? How do you spend your free time outside of football?
I love nature. I love being outdoors. I'm a big music head, like when it comes to old school hip hop, everything.
What have you been listening to?
A lot of different things. I would say I listen to like old school, like New Edition.
New Edition, okay.
I listen to. I was just listening to Candy Rain. Just stuff like that, and then I listen to like the new school too genre. I like country. I listen to like Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs, Riley Green. Y'all know how it goes. Chris Stapleton, go on and on. Cody Johnson. I listen to all those too. So I'm a big music head. So any song you play in the locker room, anytime I might know it.
Do you like to? I guess you go to concerts too. Is that a big part of it?
I've been to like 4 or 5 country concerts, and some in Nebraska. I went to one in Minnesota too. But I'm a big country fan, so anytime there's some concerts out here, y'all let me know. Make sure y'all let me know.
Luke Bryan was just here. I think Chris Stapleton, you guys are obviously probably out of town still, but Chris Stapleton's coming to town in October, I think.
Zach Bryan came to Nebraska, too. It was great, man. And, Parker McCullum, too.
Pat's always got good tickets. I
was about to say, I got to get in touch with Pat.
His good graces.
Pat, I've seen he's done some of that stuff, so I'm definitely going to be reaching out to him for that, too.
We got Emmett Johnson, Chiefs rookie running back, joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. Kenneth Walker, we were saying, having been to multiple camps now, watching it, it's just different when he runs. What do you notice when you watch Ken Walker?
Yeah, man, he runs hard. He makes big plays happen. He makes stuff happen out of nothing. And I feel like just watching him, like I said, he's done it well at this level. He's played really well at this level. So just continuing to pick his game and just watching him every single day is good for me to see. And then also just competing with them, and pushing them to be better every single day. I feel like that's what gets the whole group better. So
is it a good, I guess, like as a unit, you guys already feel like you're kind of coming together? You, Ken, Brashard, DeMarcado, because it's 2 new names. You and DeMarcado weren't here last year.
Yeah, I think it's coming together well, and I feel like I said, we're challenging each other every single day to be better. The little details, we're just pushing ourselves out there, and I feel like that's what makes us make big plays. If I see Ken make a big play, I want to make a big play. Like, it's kind of how it is. Yeah.
All right, before we let you go, so have you ever opened sports cards before?
Oh, yeah, I did actually.
All right, so we've got some cards thanks to the Art of Sports.
I think last time I tried to open it, I ripped it open. But
so we got Topps Chrome.
Okay,
We're
got
still
it.
looking for an auto. Our best card we've got from any of your teammates so far. We opened, I think we had a Jalen Hurts numbered card. So we're looking still for an auto.
Okay,
Let's
bet.
see what you
I think we've only got
got
one Chiefs card, too.
That's
Only-
right.
well, you've only got one?
Yeah,
just
Rashard
one.
Smith, actually. We got a
Ah,
Rashard Smith
okay.
card. All right,
Blake
what do you-
Corum, running back.
All right.
Okay. Tyler Higbee. Montez Sweat. Oh, yeah, that's the DN. Jalen Walker.
Okay.
At least we got
Not
a running
much.
back in there.
All right,
though.
what'd
We
you
got a
get,
running
Cody?
back in there.
Anything?
Quinnen Williams.
Yep.
No, linebacker. Sorry.
So,
Joe Tooney. I'm not
linebacker.
even going to try to pronounce it. And then a little color, Christian Watson.
Oh, yeah, I know
You got
Christian.
Taylor,
At GSU. He played at
Jonathan
GSU.
Taylor.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yep.
Tommy
JT,
Trimble,
yep.
Mike Evans, Trey Harris. So
Oh, man.
weaker couple packs. So we're
Hey,
still.
we need some Chief players in there.
I know.
Yeah, we need some Chief players in there. Make sure y'all next time. Who is it? This
Art
Tops.
Sport.
Oh yeah,
Did you-
Tops.
Did you
Yeah,
go out?
Tops.
Did you
Yeah.
go out to the
Rookie Premiere?
Rookie Premiere, the
Whole
Panini
bunch of-
stuff, right? Yeah.
Whole bunch of card signing, whole bunch
Yeah.
of opening cards. So
How is that? Just I feel like nonstop you're signing your autograph.
it's a blessing. I know it gets, my wrist hurts a little bit, but it's a blessing at the end of the day. So I get a good opportunity to do that. Yeah.
We'll be looking for your rookie card here. I guess probably
sir.
the first batch maybe coming out here pretty soon. So
Yes,
we'll
sir.
be keeping an eye out for that. Emmett
Appreciate
Johnson, appreciate if you don't mind signing this helmet for
Yeah,
charity.
for
We got
sure.
some of your teammates on there
Of course.
as well. Emmett Johnson joining
Yes,
us
sir.
here on 96.5 The Fan. All our player interviews presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com as the Chiefs. Thank you. Appreciate
Here you
that.
go.
Emmett
God
Johnson.
bless.
Yeah,
GBR,
absolutely.
man. Go.
There you go. Yeah, plenty of Nebraska fans listening and enjoy that as well. As a big year for Matt Rule in Nebraska as well. And appreciate it. There you go. All right, let's actually go right out to the podium and hear from Chiefs head coach Andy Reid.
As far as the injuries go, Trey didn't practice, but improving. Jarius didn't practice, and Drew didn't practice. They're all improving as we go. Cyrus got some good work in today. Baza was back out there, did good. Delane did up through 7-on-7, did a nice job with that. Actually had the pads on. And then Rice took most of the practice. So with that, good work today. A lot of red zone work today. Short field, but again, things are a little faster in that area. And I thought the guys competed against each other, and it was good competition. Worked a lot of third downs in the red zone, which will help us down the road there too. Good to have EB back. So he's back in the fold, and I don't think he missed a step, man. He was out there getting after it. So that's a positive for the offensive side. With that, time's yours.
Did you expect to have EB back as quickly as this, and what was it like having him back out there?
Yeah, listen, I've talked to him. I talked to him several times a day, so I knew he was coming back if everything worked out the way it had been. So, the primary thing is that Mia's stable and in good hands, and that she's doing well. So that was the primary thing with it, and that's what we said with it.
Andy, with some receivers out over the past week or so, Jalen got some more run. Just wonder what you saw from that.
Yeah, he's getting better every day, playing faster every day, which is important. Got some nice catches today. So we just got to keep going. Got to stack the days, It's not what you did today. Now if you did well today, then you got to do well tomorrow. So you can't drop back off. That's a challenge.
You mentioned that Trey was going to see a specialist. Do you think it's short term more so than anything?
Yes.
Short term.
With Trey being out, you've had Khalil Benson kicking to that right guard spot, Jalen working at right tackle. What are you wanting to learn, especially from Khalil at that right guard spot?
Yeah, I think it's good for him to be able to have some flex in there, flexibility to do both. We worked him a little bit in there in OTAs, liked what we saw. So this gives him real competition in there now, where Spags is throwing a lot of different things at you, so you've got to be able to adjust. He'll do nothing but help him, even at the tackle spot. It'll help him. So once he jumps back there.
Andy, with Patrick, you've spoken before about sort of appreciating every day with him because he won't be here forever. Is that something you practice yourself, especially knowing this is his 10th camp and coming through the injury? Is it something you're cognizant of?
I don't worry about it because he's going to be here a lot longer than I am. And you, Vahe.
And when you do think about what you appreciate about him, are there a couple, 3 things that come to mind, maybe most of all about who he is?
Yeah, no, listen, he's all in. That covers everything. He's all in every day, and I love that part of him.
Andy, how important is this preseason upcoming for, Jared Wiley and Brandon Stool in terms of what they could maybe provide you in terms of depth at that tight end spot?
You're seeing the challenge there between the two of them. I mean, they're competing, and as that whole group is. I mean, Trey's right in the mix there too. So it's a good group of young guys, big, strong guys, and Brandon Stool's whole thing was that could he stay on the field, and he's been doing that.
Did you notice any type of boost with the offensive guys having you back out there today?
Yeah, it was great to have him back out there. Everybody was glad to see him. I think once you start going, then you're going. It's a little bit like a game. It's once you're in the game, you're in the game. But he always brings great energy.
Coach, you mentioned being all in. Travis is another one of those guys that doesn't take the, I guess, whatever you call vet day. He's out here every day. What's that mean for him to be out here?
Yeah, no, you gotta pull Travis as opposed. He'll stay out on every play, and so we have a rotation for him. And if he hears the next play and it's one he kind of likes, you gotta fight him to get him off. But I love that part of him. That's and it's great for the young guys. That's the best part. He shares that energy with them, and he's not afraid to get on guys and challenge them, and then he walks his part of it. So
it's a little unusual to play a team in the preseason that you see in the regular season, and you guys do it twice this year. Is there a challenge in that, or good, bad, and different?
No, listen. No, they're not going to play anybody, and we'll be very vanilla too. So it's that's kind of how it is. It's an opportunity to see your young guys play, and Seattle will probably do the same thing. I don't know how many guys they'll play. So, but it's all good work. I don't worry about all the other stuff. I mean, you're not really game planning for these things. You're just taking base plays and going and running them.
So that was Andy Reid. At the end, he was just asked about Saturday. And, yeah, they play the Rams at home Saturday. And then in December, they turn around for hopefully a huge Thursday night game against the Rams. And as he said, they're not really playing anybody. He already kind of tipped his hand last week that he's not playing Mahomes, therefore probably not going to play a lot of their main guys. But game plan-wise, it's preseason, it's vanilla and all that. So I don't think it really matters all that much. It's weird, but by the time December comes, these teams are so different anyway, let alone Myles Garrett's not playing Saturday. Mahomes is not playing Saturday.
And they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Genuinely, they shouldn't, and that's the part of it. I will say pretty clearly the phrase painted on the wall is stack the days.
Oh, it's been
that
the whole
has been
camp,
said
man.
by every single player we've had on the show, including Emma Johnson today. Yeah. Andy said it in the press conference today. So that clearly is the overwhelming, motivational motto for camp this year. But, it's hard because when there's only 3 preseason games, and eventually there'll only be 2. You and I both know, Gold, that once they eventually get to 18 games, which they will, because the players will cave, and they go to 2 preseason games, well, then really what are you doing in those games that justifies the risk? You got to get through 18 damn games, 17 games. I think that stuff just becomes a challenge where it's not worth the risk of preseason. Training camp is when you put in the work, get ready, do that stuff, and then training camp becomes, let's evaluate the guys 45 through 65.
You heard Andy also say there that they believe they still have short-term injury for Trey Smith. He did not practice today. Remember last week we learned hip injury. They sent him to a specialist. Clearly not serious enough to where they needed to do anything from that end. So we don't know how many more days, but short-term as in this is not a question about Trey Smith being ready for the start of the season or anything like that. Hopefully he's back at practice later on this week, but clearly he's not playing Saturday either. I mean, you're not going to be bringing him back off of a hip injury to rush him back for Saturday. So that's where things are at on the injury front, other than what we already knew and told you earlier, which is Monzo Delane continues to have the yellow non-contact jersey. Of course, Xavier Worthy back at practice today. Ashton Gelati back at practice today. We'll talk to Nate Taylor about those things as well when he joins us in just a bit. But Nick Bolton, veteran linebacker for the Chiefs, speaking to the media right now.
Yeah, I think every day we're making strides, being the team we want to be. Obviously, X's and O's wise, but just the mental part, the conditioning, concentration during long periods, long practices, long drive drills, and stuff like that. So I think we're doing a good job of coming together so far.
You played next to today a lot with Jeff and Jack. I just wonder what you've seen. I know Jack is a guy that knows all the positions. What have you seen from those two?
Yeah, obviously we got some guys inked up, so guys are just floating around now. We're just trying to get through these practices, and guys are doing a great job of picking up for other people, and also just coming in, just playing different positions, playing different jobs. So playing next to those guys, man, obviously I understand they're playing linebackers in the scheme for quite some time, so X's and O's wise I'm not worried about. Just having some constant communication, giving clarity to the DBs and to the front end, and echoing some calls here and there. So I think those guys have been fantastic, moving around and being available when we need them to.
So the offense working a lot on red zone. That obviously means you guys are working a lot on red zone too. Tell me what that was like today.
Yeah, obviously we get down to the red zone, especially on third down when we got the field, 4-point plays and stuff like that. I think last week could have been a little bit better in that category. So I think we did a good job just so far in camp, making sure we got the field on third downs and keeping those 4 points for our offense.
Nick, it's not your side of the ball, but Eric EB was back today. What was that like to have him back?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's great to have him back with the circumstances he had going on. We've been sending prayers to his family when he was out, but having a guy like that come back on the field, man, competitor, brings out the best of us. Also on defense, man, challenging us. If we win a rep, he don't really care about winning a rep, do it again type of deal. So yeah, man, it's always fun, friendly banter we call it, but it's great having him back in the building.
Nick, what are you trying to emphasize to Boston right now, considering he's been through this before, but he has a chance obviously to play you this season?
Yeah, man, take advantage of every opportunity you get. You really can't count how many you get, but the ones you do get, make it count. Man, it's kind of just a message I had. Tyron gave me that same message when I was a rookie. When I got in there, just kind of just do what you got to do. Don't let him take off the field, and it's kind of the same message for him.
What was it like having Tyron out here?
It's been super cool. He was here for all last week with us, chopping up. I told him he's a original 32. He's the one who had it when I was here. So just kind of wear it the way he wore it, represent the way he wore it. But obviously having a veteran guy who's been in the system, understands the scheme, and having some of the back end guys. Obviously we have some new guys floating around and move positions. And so yeah, it's good to have a veteran guy come here who's been here, done that. Actually echo some of the things that Coach Bragg's echoing as well.
Different position that's right in front of you. What are your initial impressions of Peter Woods and R.A. Thomas?
Yeah, I think they've done a fantastic job of what we call it not repeating mistakes, making new mistakes, doing them at full speed. That kind of helps you get better as camp goes on. But yeah, doing a fantastic job up front, keeping blockers off of me, and obviously just rushing the passer. So it's going to be great for those guys to kind of get their feet wet, especially with this preseason game coming up. But they've been great for us so far.
A couple more.
This is your sixth training camp. Is there anything you continue to learn as you come aboard a veteran presence here?
Yeah, I mean, every year is a little bit different. This year I had a little bit more time in the offseason kind of work on my body, so more so now just communication-wise, making sure everybody's on the same page, and obviously I did that before. I'm trying to take it to a different level, making sure that everybody's speaking the same language, every signal is the same, so no confusion in the back end and stuff like that. So trying to work some more on X and O's in terms of my position and how I can help out other people around me.
All right, so that was Nick Bolton speaking to the media after practice today, speaking a lot there on Peter Woods and R. Mason Thomas, talking about them not making the same mistakes multiple times and obviously making his job a little bit easier as well. Nick Bolton, one of the healthy linebackers here at camp. Austin's missed some time at some point. We know Drew Tranquil continues to be nursing some back spasms, but Nick Bolton, green dot out there here throughout camp so far. Up next, Nate Taylor going to join us from ESPN. We'll ask him about some things that stood out from the podium and also where we're at injury-wise with a couple other players on the Chiefs heading into Saturday. Next here on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at adventhealthchampionship.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize! Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Kansas City football fans, Dane and Hughes here. Countdown to kickoff is officially on, so now is the time to stock the cooler with Yingling Flight. Whether you're headed to training camp, firing up the grill, or getting together with family and friends on game day, Yingling Flight is the perfect way to enjoy the football season. At just 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, it's everything you want in a light beer. Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor, and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Tune into the Chiefs' first preseason game against the Rams, Saturday, August 15th with pregame at 2 and kickoff at 3. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, Cody and Gold back here in St. Joe. Practice wrapped up about a half hour or so ago. Thanks again to Emmett Johnson for joining us. We've heard from Nick Bolton and Andy Reid as well. You'll hear from the owner of the Kansas City Royals coming up in 30 minutes or so as Josh Vernier sat down with John Sherman for an exclusive interview. Heard it earlier this morning, and we will play that back. He, of course, asked him about the plan at the deadline, how they executed that. Can they compete in 2027? Confidence level on J.J. Piccolo, among other topics, including the stadium. That's coming up in 30 minutes here on 96.5 The Fan. Don't forget, our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. As we welcome in Nate Taylor from ESPN. He's kind enough to join us after every practice here in St. Joe. Nate, I want to start just with what Andy had to say about Eric Bieniemy and the fact that he was here today. Did you? I mean, I know nobody knew for sure the timeline. Were you surprised to see him out here once you started to hear the stuff last week that he was doing all the Zoom?
Yeah, no. Once it became clear that he was engaged with the coaching staff, and I knew that they were talking to him just about every day, and of course I've heard some things about Mia's recovery. So it all led to having an educated guess that he would be back at some point this week. I want to remind everybody that, this is a game week. As weird as that sounds, they play the Rams in a preseason opener at Arrowhead on Saturday. So, for the guys who are going to play, for the coaching staff, you got to get ready for a game week. They had the off day yesterday. So it makes sense for Eric to get back into the swing of things as best he can given the circumstances and know that he's going to have at least 4 practices to be a part of the evaluation process because it's legitimate now. We're not in the shorts of it all. The excitement is sort of tempered a little bit. We're into, consecutive days of padded practice. So you want to have an idea from a coaching standpoint, the grade evaluation before Saturday. And then obviously, I think most people know this, like that evaluation obviously changes with the first preseason game. And the games are weighted more than what you've seen at camp, but you would like to see those things sort of match up or mirror in terms of like, hey, here's who I have on the depth chart right now. Here's who I'm impressed by. Here's who needs to like make an impression or two in a game. We haven't seen a lot of these rookies or even someone like Jake Briningstool in a game yet. So for at least for him to be in those meetings with, Andy Reid, Brett Veach, obviously Spags and Dave Tobe, now seemed like a decent time to make a return. And it was interesting that Andy had a very fascinating comment Friday, and I don't know if people completely understood it or if they didn't latch onto it. And in some ways, I'm even kicking myself. But he said, Mia's probably ready to get him out too, right? And so he said, hey, Mia's doing great. I don't know when Eric's coming back, but I know the quote was, I know he's chomping at the bit for him to come back. And I'm sure Mia's ready to get him out of here too. Now, he said it in a jokey manner, but that was like one of the first indications that like, okay, things are going as well as you could ask for, is that, because my biggest concern when everything happened 2 weeks ago is, man, he might miss all the training camp.
Right.
Well, he only missed half, and that's, again, if that's what was necessary, then, thankfully everything's going well with Mia, and Eric can sort of see how the team is doing and to start making his own imprint in these padded practices.
Is it, sorry, real quick, is the thought that, he's you wouldn't come back if he's not here for good, barring something.
Right, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. Now, there'll be a whole legal process that we have
Sure.
to see happen. I don't know when Mia would necessarily be, like, released from the hospital. That may take, obviously, some time. He will have – now, I do think logistically he's in a better place now because, the last 2 weeks have really been the thick of camp. So if he wanted to, and I'm not saying this is true or not, but if he wanted to, they break Thursday. He could go back to Virginia, at least spend half a day, and come back for the preseason game on Saturday. Then if you wanted to, or if you said, hey, let me get through the preseason game Saturday, I could spend some time in Virginia Sunday, come back Monday, and then camp officially ends on August 20th. So there would be a little bit of time between having a little bit of a chance to go back and forth if you wanted to or if you felt that was necessary, just to make sure everything's going okay with your wife. So that makes sense to me versus, like, there was really no end in sight.
Yeah.
These past 2 weeks when he was gone, where they were only taking, like, these half days off, building up all these reps for the team to obviously get into a little bit of a football conditioning part so that now you can play a game against somebody.
It felt especially important, I guess, just because, like, we were talking to Emmett Johnson. He was the player who came and joined after practice today. And you realize the entire room is different.
Mm-hmm.
Rashard Smith is back, and he hasn't worked with DeMercado, Kenneth Walker, and Emmett Johnson. So, like, it is a completely different group than the one that they had last year. And for Eric Bieniemy, I know he's not the running backs coach, but I also know he pays attention.
He might as well be.
He told Emmett Johnson to get his pads down today.
Correct.
After he got his head clean taken off during practice. So, like,
from an Iowa guy, too.
Like, which that clip's out there, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find it on Twitter. And it had me concerned for Emmett's family, honestly, because I was like, what are we doing?
Briscoe called it NFL Street. That's exactly what it
This
was
is a Monday, sir. We play
7 on 7.
Saturday. Yeah, 7 on 7. What are you doing?
I could hear a little bit in Emmett Johnson. I had mentioned he's like, yeah, it was 7 on 7, like that, like that slight catch of, like,
where was
not
that?
where I thought I'm gonna get, but he's like, I gotta get lower. You're like, yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do, man.
You gotta get lower.
Can't lay up on this rep. Oh, my goodness, yeah. So, I think it's great that they have someone who's had real experience in the NFL at that position, obviously, in Eric Bieniemy, but they also have DeMarco Murray, who was a very good running back himself in the NFL and won some people some fantasy leagues, as I've heard, in the past. And now, because you have, I think, 4 very capable players with the ball in their hands. Now, it's interesting to see how much Rashard Smith grows as a receiver or as a pass protector. You know what you're going to get from DeMercado, I think, largely. And then, they're doing things today with Walker where it's like, whew, give me more of them wheel routes, man.
I will say, Patrick Mahomes was just on one today. This is as good as he's looked at any point at camp.
Yep.
He was just every deep throw hit
was money.
He just looked like he was just kind of like on it today. I guess.
So it's great to know that, like, I think these running backs will be developed because we've seen it before with Jamal Charles. We've seen it before with Adrian Peterson when Eric Bieniemy was the running back coach up in Minnesota. So now you have a chance to have not only more depth at the position than you had last year, but you have a better variety in terms of none of these guys should be really worn down, in my opinion. Obviously, Kenneth Walker's going to get most of the workload, but you got plenty there with Emmett. You got something there with Brashard if you want to use him out of the backfield. He's going to be what appears to be a player on special teams as a returner, at least from what we can glean so far. It should be a much more balanced offense, or at least it has the appeal of being more balanced for Andy Reid and for Eric Bieniemy to remind Andy Reid, which I think is like half his job.
Yeah.
In September, half of Eric Bieniemy's job in September is to remind Andy Reid that
they signed Ken Walker.
Our quarterback coming off of ACL, LCL. I know he's working overtime, but we might want to hand it off or dump it off to the running back coach. So that'll be a fun aspect to dissect here when we get to the regular season. But you asked all the players today; they seemed thrilled to have Eric back. It was really cool to see the offensive lineman one by one shake his hand.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that's on video too. So, it's still a long way to go for Eric Bieniemy, but at least he'll be in the fold, and at least he'll know the personnel we assume before they play the Denver Broncos more thoroughly.
We got Nate Taylor from ESPN joining us here after practice. Don't forget, about 25 minutes, Vern's exclusive conversation with the owner of the Kansas City Royals, John Sherman. We'll have that in its entirety coming up at 12:30. Trey Smith did not practice again today. That's 3 straight. I know Andy said they still believe it's short term, but we know you went and saw a specialist. That's never a great thing.
Correct.
What are you hearing?
So, for the audience, ladies and gentlemen, he told us that Trey Smith saw a specialist without unprompted.
Yeah.
No one asked him. Well, he saw a specialist, and I'm like,
but it was nothing.
And then my ear said,
"What now?
What? You don't ever see a specialist and it be nothing." Now look, I haven't been told anything crazy yet.
Is this a hip flexor strain thing? What are we talking about?
Ease off on it. And so, in a weird way, now they're in a tricky situation. Again, we might see, what happens between now and Saturday. I don't need him playing in the preseason.
No.
What are we doing?
I'm curious, though, because, it's this part. I don't need him, but also Alex and I were talking, does this make it less likely Khalil Benson wins the tackle job? Because they just keep – and it makes me feel like Moore's in the leader spot because they didn't bump him inside or use somebody else. They used Benson inside.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation now to know that, we had a true we didn't have a true competition. Then we did have a true competition, and now that competition might be, suspended because of Trey's availability. I'm not a doctor. I'm like, if you had to see a specialist, why don't we give it another week, right? You still have the second preseason game. We know Patrick Mahomes is most likely not going to play Saturday against the Los Angeles Rams, so you're going to get Justin Fields. You're going to get a good look at him and see how much he looks between preseason game 1 and most likely preseason game 2. But, they put Khalil Benson inside. He learned quite a bit today. He got absolutely worked by Chris Jones, which is totally normal. That happens to, obviously, veterans in the league, and you are a rookie. But, now it makes it seem that Jalen Moore, if this Trey Smith thing lingers, which I don't know, at least we know what the first switch in the lineup would be, having Khalil Benson switch inside because of his strength, his upper body work. Maybe that would be a help to the run game that would be somewhat similar to Trey Smith. And then you obviously have a more veteran guy in Jalen Moore be at right tackle, who we all assumed when training camp began that's your starting right tackle. So I would want to see Khalil Benson more at right tackle. But I guess as of now, if there's no Trey, you're not going to see that until, the second quarter when they bring in the twos. And I guess you would put him at
He'll play
right
a lot, though, I imagine.
Yeah, I imagine, But he wouldn't be with, the first-team guys to get a feel of, okay, well, this is the top level. How does he look? How does he help? I don't know if Kenneth Walker will play. That's a whole different ball of wax. But, let's say we put DeMarcado back there. Well, okay, I want to see what it looks like with the starting offensive line, quote-unquote. You might not see that for at least the first preseason game.
We haven't talked to you, Nate, since Cyrus Allen returned. We were not here on Friday. A couple padded practices. How has he looked? Because when we talked to you about before, we all know you were very high on the comparisons for him. That was pre-pads. So how does he look now that pads are on?
He looks fine. I do find it interesting. Now look, I'm putting a lot of trust in the coaching staff. we got we got to get Rasheed work. We got to get Jalen Royals work. We throw another deep ball to Tyquan Thornton and Andrew Armstrong. Now
put it on ice.
Thank you. They've been real.
So now we're just like hiding them a little bit. Okay.
Just a little. Hey, you know what? Save it for prime time, young man. Save it for Saturday. They're gonna slowly build him back up, which is cool.
They did it with Worthy too, right? Today.
Yes.
It was a planned
leave
early for practice.
You know it. They actually asked him more Rasheed Rice today than they did of Cyrus Allen, which I just find to be hilarious. But look, there were some 7-on-7s if people want to go look it up where he did well. You know.
And they played together. Rice and Cyrus were on the together.
And Rice was on the outside, and Cyrus Allen was in the slot. So interesting.
I saw a red zone snap where Allen was outside and Rice was inside.
Yep. But there might be some interchangeable work. Now he did, I think, do pretty well in the one-on-ones, which is where he can show off some of his route running ability. But I think the days of did he just absolutely back shoulder Moss, Noah Williams, I think those days are over. I think we'll just save that for Justin Fields and remind Justin Fields that he has 3 targets. You can always check it down to the running back, whoever that is, right? Just to get us into a rhythm on Saturday against the Rams. I need you to throw it to Cyrus Allen at least a couple times. Hell, make it 4 if we could do it.
Sure.
And then give me the Jake Brennan-Stool snaps. Give them to me.
They brought him to the podium today. Are they so like Wiley and Brennan-Stool? These are names we've heard for a while. Brennan-Stool's mostly just been hurt.
Correct.
Do you think anybody can jump Noah Gray by the end of the year?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
No.
But they can have a role.
Yes, they still need experience, but here's the hard part about it, guys. If you're asking me, well, Nate, tell me something about Jake Brennan-Stool. Boy, is he gigantic. Boy,
he's a big dude.
Boy, does he look the part.
Well, they don't have anybody who blocks the way. They need somebody to just go out there and throw their body around.
Correct. If he could be someone who's a power blocker and make those leaping catches in the seam area, the middle of the field, he absolutely just jumped over Nick Bolton today, and I was like, "Ooh, buddy." So, hey, you make Jack Cochran look normal. I get it. What I'm fascinated about is how far can the Chiefs develop Jake Brennan-Stool between now and November? Because what happens if Noah Gray's body breaks down?
I mean, there's something wrong with Noah. I don't like. We had him on the show earlier.
It's just a natural.
I think some of it's like he's feeling the heat a little. Combination with he wasn't playing very good last year.
He didn't have last season was the first season where you could say, "Ooh, that is a disappointment. That's a down year." Compared to what we've seen you do as that secondary option next to, all-world Travis Kelce. Now, Mahomes has always had trust in Noah Gray because he was such a reliable receiver as someone who could get open occasionally if you could scheme it up right within the offense. But this is the natural cycle of NFL players. 6 years is great. We just take 6 years for granted.
Yeah.
But I am a little concerned about how much can his body last throughout the course of the season if you want to make another playoff run. He was amazing, guys, in the 2022-2023 stretch, and those were his second and third year. Well, now we're into 2026. So
he's older.
He if he has a natural fall, it happens. Guys sometimes get 6 years in the league, and that's still better than the average player, and he's had a real role within the offense. So for Jarrett Wiley and Jake Brennan-Stool, let's see it, man. You guys haven't done nearly what has been asked of Noah Gray, but until you demonstrate that you can do it consistently, Noah Gray is going to be out there, which means I hope the offense can stabilize with 2 tight ends throughout the course of the season, but last season's data tells me that's asking a lot fully out of Noah Gray unless something changes and he can take better care of his body or he just doesn't have as big of an injury lapse as he did a year ago.
Before we get to some of Drew's camp questions, last one for Nate Taylor of ESPN. We were discussing earlier the news out of D.C. with Laramie Tunsil. Of course, he's got a severe tricep injury, maybe done for the season. That O-line's already a question there. Immediately, people on social media were saying, well, could the Chiefs trade Jalen Moore to the Commanders? I said absolutely not unless they want to be crazy and give me a first-round pick because I need the depth. We just got done talking about the Trey Smith situation.
Yep.
Is there any scenario where he would be available?
Not right now, and you would actually want to squeeze the Commanders all the way till cutdown day, honestly, which is August 30th, I believe. So you could get on the phone and say, hey, let's just have a preliminary discussion about it, but we like Jalen Moore. Like, this isn't – I don't know if this is an indictment on Jalen Moore as much as we got to see what we have in Khalil Benson because he's outperformed or overachieved at every step of the quote-unquote, off-season program, right? Came in and he overproduced in rookie minicamp. Then he overachieved in OTAs. Then we put him out there in mandatory minicamp, and he didn't look completely overwhelmed. Well, okay, now we got the pads on, and he's had some rough moments. Don't get me wrong. But, like, he has tools and he has traits, and he's we should be willing to invest in him and see where it goes in the preseason. Now, if he has a poor preseason game or two, then you might say, then you might want to be like, maybe we shouldn't get on the phone with Washington. But you wouldn't make a deal right now, and it doesn't behoove you. And I think the Chiefs are I think it's more actually revealing. Think about it from this, guys. It's more revealing that they pulled a tackle and put him inside at right guard than whoever the backup guard is for Trey Smith. Who's the backup guard?
I don't have depth there. We've talked about this from the beginning. The offensive line depth was not good. Apparently, it's Khalil Benson. Super utility.
Who only plays tackle, So
when he said the same thing Kingsley did, which is the first thing you realize is that it comes at you fast.
Correct.
Everything moves faster on the inside, so you have to do something.
And Chris Jones is quick, my friend, when he's ready to rush.
Wasn't Chris Jones? Talk about
when
when
he's ready to rush the passer, Chris Jones can get real quick, real fast. So I don't know who the backup guard is because they haven't shown it to us yet. Their backup guard right now is an undrafted rookie out of Indiana who's also competing for the right tackle spot. So I don't think there's really an indictment yet on Jalen Moore. I think it's a bit of a worry that you don't have whoever your best interior backup player is. They don't know who that is, and they might not find that out until the preseason as well.
Nate, appreciate it, man. Nate Taylor, ESPN, always kind enough to join us after practice here on 96.5 The Fan. Don't forget, our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Coming up in about 15 minutes, you'll hear Vern's exclusive conversation with the owner and CEO of the Kansas City Royals, talking about post-trade deadline, looking ahead to 2027, and his confidence in this front office and whether or not they have the right people in charge. That's some of the topics that Vern went over with John Sherman. All right, Drew, it is time for your camp questions.
Camp questions.
All right, guys, a full slate of 3 of them for you. The first one, we've seen a couple of in-practice fights, some skirmishes. Do you like that Kenneth Walker and company are firing things up a little bit,
Kenneth Walker tackling Gilman, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. They need somebody on offense besides Kelsey Mahomes with some fire. So I loved it. I like that way more than I do Kingsley and FAU throwing a punch. That could get you hurt. That's dumb. But the tackle, that's harmless. I love it.
I've covered countless training camps. There's a fight in every single one of them. Every single one of them. I've seen Travis Kelce throw a ball in a guy's face and tell him to go F himself. I've seen Patrick Mahomes yell at a corner to tell him that they're getting worse because he won't stop holding on a play. I've seen people yell, fight, throw fists. It happens every single camp. If anything, it just shows me that every time that happens, I know that we're close to a preseason game. That's why I like it. It means these guys are sick of hitting each other, and I'm going to actually get to watch a football game with real players, not have to watch them hit each other in pads. So I always love it.
Second one for you. I don't know if you guys saw. I sent you the clip of Jordan Tyson absolutely routing up whatever DB it was. Caleb Downs also is making headlines. Given that both of them were picked behind, Ruben Bain also has looked very good.
Sure.
Given that the Chiefs traded up for Mansour Delane, what makes a quote-unquote good season for Mansour where you're not going to look back after, I know it's 1 year would be too early, but you're not going to look back and say, man, look at the year that Downs had, or how about Tyson? What if that was on the Chiefs? What would it take for Mansour to prove that he's still worth the pick in a way after just one season?
Right now it's just a bummer because we don't even get a chance to have maybe those highlight moments and get excited. So that part just stinks. Look, for the end of this season, I still think, let's assume that if he misses time, it's only like a game and he doesn't miss any more than that. Maybe it's week 1 that he misses, although that's still up in the air very much so. I think by the end of the year, at bare minimum, we need to feel like the Chiefs have, heading into next year, a top 15 corner. Meaning eventually it needs to be higher than that, but by the end of this year, I need to feel like, all right, he's shown enough where, he's the top 15 or so corner in the league. And then by the end of next year, it's even higher than that.
Weirdly enough, it's more about him than the other guys because the truth is, we know the draft works. There will be at least one player drafted after 6 there will be a better player than Mansour Delane. That happens in every single draft in perpetuity forever. And so, like Travis, look at Patrick Mahomes' year, right? There was somebody taking 5, 6, 7, 8. It happens every year. People screw things up. But for me, it's just he has to be one of the best corners in the NFL by the end of next season. He's got to be one of the 5 best guys in the league. By the end of this season, he's got to be a number 1 corner. The number 1 corner. Like the guy who guards Jamar Chase and doesn't get his ass kicked.
Well, I hope that happens. I hope that's as soon as he's healthy. I hope that happens.
Yeah, I'm saying like that for this year. Number 1 corner.
Yeah.
He guards the best guys, and he's not an embarrassment doing it. That's genuinely how I view it. It looks like the kind of guy who maybe gets beat by a guy who's good every once in a while, but he's not. It's not a pushover. It's not a laughing stock, Drew.
Right. Third one for you. I don't know if you guys saw this. Chiefs TikTok asked players a question about how many showers they take a day at camp, and I'm curious, given the temperatures outside, how many showers are you guys taking when you go to camp? Is it 2? Is it upwards of 3? That all of those numbers have been mentioned. 4 even.
It's 2. It's a bare minimum 2 shower day. So I'm a shower in the morning guy anyway. I don't shower the night before. I like the morning shower to wake me up on top of it. So I do morning shower, and then when I get home after 3 o'clock today, I will shower because you're just sticky and gross. So I'll do that. Sometimes it turns into 3 if I end up going to the gym later. So that's the issue is like if I shower at 3 and then I go to the gym later, then it might be another shower. So 2 on average. There's been a few 3 in there.
This is a difficult one because I know some people are evening showers because they're like, how you going into bed dirty, getting your sheets dirty? I clean my sheets, so it is what it is. Not like this.
No.
Soaking wet by the time we fit. And Alex and I aren't even overly sweaty people. It just builds up on damp. It just builds up on your skin.
Yeah,
minimum
right.
2. There have been days with 3, but minimum 2.
Yeah.
Without question, every single day we've been into camp.
The most I think they were mentioned was 4. I can't remember who.
4 is wild.
I will say it would depend on if our show went differently. Like if we ended at noon and I had a shower available, I was near my house, I had a shower, and then we had other stuff to do. It would probably be 3. It's been 2 every time though. 3 though. 4 is crazy.
That's just too many.
I can't 4 showers. I got to do other stuff. I have kids and a job. I'm just supposed to take 4 showers a day.
All right, well, those are the camp questions for today.
I took 3 the day we did the media game at for
that's
the Kings
fair.
and Current.
Because after the game,
I took one in the morning and then one after practice because I was I'm going to be all sweaty and I want to be and then after we finished the media game, I needed yet another shower.
Our training camp coverage presented by Break Time, whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp. Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Coming up next, John Sherman sat down exclusively with our Royals insider, Josh Vernier. They broached a wide variety of topics, including his faith in this team competing next year. How much faith does he have in J.J. Piccolo? All that coming up next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Back to school is around the corner. Why not get back to yourself? Genuinely, if you're over the age of 40, even if you're under the age of 40, you know when things don't feel right. 41, you start slowing down. You're trying to figure out if those things are low testosterone. Find out at Low T Center. They offer a free T test, so you can find out at fixmylowt.com whether or not that's the issue. And the truth is, you already probably know part of the answer because of the way that you've been feeling or that you've been trying to ignore this or hide this. I made a big push maybe a year ago to all right, I go to the doctor more often. Get an annual checkup. Make sure things are okay. You can't ignore these things, and we're not young forever. If you notice something, find out if those things could be low testosterone. It could be a bad workout. It could be a lack of energy, not being able to stay up at night, a low sex drive. All of those things are things you don't want to be dealing with forever. And so if it's going to be time to get back into those habits, well, then turn the clock back and get back to yourself. Go to fixmylowt.com and book that free T test today. And if you qualify for treatment, they accept most major insurance, so don't delay. Go to fixmylowt.com.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and baseball's back. BetMGM, the official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boost. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLERS. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack. Jack had a home he needed to sell fast. And Jack thought he had it all figured out. So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers. Jack chose the highest offer. But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out, leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do. Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer. Jack got suckered. Make sure you aren't hung out to dry. Call our dad at Rex Buys KC. Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals. No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises. Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process. Now, don't be like Jack. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
When shopping for a new auto insurance policy, AAA could help you customize your coverage to fit your unique needs and budget. Trust AAA Auto Insurance to help you find the balance that works for you. See how a simple switch could make a big difference. AAA, we're always with you. Visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help. And help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Don't let garage door problems sideline your summer plans. Renner Garage Door is ready to tackle repairs, tune-ups, and replacements. Get your free repair or replacement quote today, plus $100 off a new garage door. Featuring trusted brands like Yeldon, A-Bar, and LiftMaster, Renner delivers the quality, reliability, and performance your home can count on. RennerDoor.com forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back-end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Useful tools and advice that work for your financial situation. That's a great call. Join Main Street Credit Union and get access to a whole coaching staff of certified financial counselors who can help you create a perfect financial game plan with our spend accounts. Real people, real progress. Visit MainStreetCU.org to see how we can take your financial game to the next level.
Chiefs training camp coverage sponsored by Border Magic, giving your landscape its winning edge. This football season, give your home a winning edge with Border Magic. Custom concrete landscape edging adds lasting beauty and unbeatable curb appeal. Choose from a variety of styles and colors, all backed by a 10-year warranty. SouthKC.BorderMagic.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, back here in St. Joe. It's Cody and Gold, our training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Coming up in the 1 o'clock hour, we'll get back into the Buffalo Bills' new stadium and hopefully a lesson or two the Chiefs can learn with their stadium process. We'll also have a random question of the day, and you'll hear our conversation with Chiefs rookie running back Emmett Johnson. But earlier this morning, if you didn't catch it, Josh Vernier sat down exclusively with the owner and CEO of the Kansas City Royals, John Sherman. They certainly got into a lot of the questions I think that fans have been wanting answers to about the future of this team, including the faith that they have as an organization that next year's not a rebuild year, that they can compete. Here's that conversation.
Been nice enough to sit down with me for the post-trade deadline conversation basically every season since you bought the team. It's greatly appreciated.
Right.
Thank you very much. Well, speaking of the deadline, of course, pretty slow deadline. Talking with JJ, that's a reflection of a team that believes we can get right back at it once everybody gets healthy in 2020. That's your belief as well.
I do believe that. You know, we have work to do, though. I mean, you know, we've got, and I know the way JJ looks at it, we've got this young core of position players that are going to be here for a while. I think from my perspective, our outfield has gotten more productive this year. Still work to do there. You know, we have a rotation that right now, Waka, Lugo, and Cameron, and we've got some guys hurt, but we can build on that. We got some younger guys too, but we can go to the market, I think, and supplement that. But the bullpen is, you know, we got a lot of work to do in the bullpen, and I do think that JJ got a little bit of a head start on that. That's if you look at Duran, Braun, and it's Braun, and. Who's the other one? Who's the other reliever?
Carter Holton.
Yeah, Holton, and
Could
then
be one.
And then, you know, I think you look at the wire right now. He's picking up a pitcher every day, right? And some of them you don't know, but I mean that if you think about a bullpen, that can be cobbled together and rebuilt pretty quickly without spending, allocating a big portion of your payroll. And this year we really had a fairly significant amount of our payroll allocated to the bullpen, and particularly in Carlos and Matt, and you know, really did not get a lot of production there. Obviously, Carlos didn't really get out of the blocks this season, and then we've had some other struggles there as well.
Talk about supplementing the rotation in the market. It's pretty expensive to dip your toe into that.
Yeah, but I think there's some guys that we do have some guys. I don't know everybody's scheduled to return here, but we'll be getting some guys back in the middle of the season, you know, and that will be helpful. But I do think we'll have to invest some money if we want to win in 27. The rotation's the key to it. We got to fix the bullpen. And then I think we look forward to seeing the continued improvement of our young players, and you know there may be some ways to upgrade there as well. But I think if you look at the infield, Michael, Bobby, Vinny, and then Cags and Carter. Those guys are developing. Those are real Major League Baseball players, and I expect that they'll continue to develop as well.
With payroll, right now, there are teams in first place that don't come close to the money that you're spending. Is that so? You're talking about increasing from where you're already at, which is middle of the road in Major League Baseball.
We're freeing up some money. We're freeing up some money that I think we can invest. But I don't think we've been afraid to. This is. We have our payroll that I think is probably a highest sustained level as the Royals maybe ever have had, right? Mm-hmm. And it didn't work out this year, and that's frustrating. But it doesn't take away from what we want to accomplish here. We want to win. We want to win now. We think that our division is still there for the taking. Now, at the end of the day, I can say that today, but we're in last place. We're 20 games below 500. Those results are unacceptable. It doesn't really matter why you lost those games, how you lost those games, the kind of setbacks, because those are the results that we're going to have to live with. And it's compelling that we kind of dig out of that and come back on behalf of our fans here.
You talk about the division. Cleveland pretty consistent at the top and pretty consistently spending less.
Right.
Tampa, Milwaukee, same thing. First place,
right.
Not spending that much. Is that more about what they do well, or where maybe your organization missed this season?
Here's how I'd answer that. When we after 2023, I think we admittedly didn't have the farm system that is particularly on the pitching side, and we had to go out and invest in that. I do think that I think if you give us a full cycle in this development, I think we got really good guys at the front of the pipeline or the back of the pipeline, whatever that is, the younger part. But we had to go out and invest in Lugo and Waka and other people along the way to make sure that we could compete. And so we had to kind of overspend for a market like ours, and that's. But we got to win. This is a business.